The trumpets are sounding the final call for the Edwardstown Mazda end of financial year sale. Get our lowest ever drive-away offers, huge Mazda factory bonuses, plus an extra $2,000 trade-in bonus. And $1,000 in Edwardstown Mazda credit to spend however you'd like. The finale is fast approaching. Hurry, sale ends June 30.
It's gotta be
Edwardstown Mazda, the #1 destination for Mazda in SA.
Treat your family and friends to something a little fancy from FIVEAA, your family liquor stores. If you relish your winter reds and you like them full-bodied, we have SA-made Shiraz, Cabernet Sauvignon and Malbec for you. A great way to warm up is with a dram of whiskey, and we have many great Australian distilleries with their own distinct flavours. Beer tastes change too, but you're covered with local craft stouts and porters. FIVEAA, your local independent SA family liquor store for over 45 years.
Oh, that's awful news, Jen.
what?
Jack said the builders hit rock when they were digging your foundations.
Oh, that's fine.
Really? Must be expensive, all that extra work.
Not for us. We're with Rossdale. Their absolute fixed price contract guarantees no builder variations. So only we can change the price.
Seriously? That's amazing.
Yeah, that's why we chose them. No stress and only nice surprises.
Nothing's as strong as Rossdale Homes' absolute fixed price contract. Rossdale Homes, because trust is a must. T's apply.
When you're gone, who gets the things most precious to you? Like your highly valued comic book collection or your 1976 Tirana in mint condition. If you don't have a will, you'll never know. Donlan Lawyers specialise in wills and estate planning. From the simplest to the most complex, Donlan Lawyers will give effect to your wishes. For wills and estate planning, visit donlanlawyers.com. Hindmarsh Square, Adelaide, and Ocean Street, Victor Harbour.
Join over 60,000 Adelaide homes and say yes to lowering your energy bills with Yes, your energy saving solutions. Yes offers a range of money saving solutions to upgrade your home and downgrade your energy bills. With subsidies on ceiling insulation, air conditioning, hot water services and LED lighting installations, rebates on new appliances and incentives for recycling your old fridges, it's easy to say yes to Yes. Find out more about your energy saving solutions. Go to yess.net.au.
The very latest news and information. This is 5AA News, always Adelaide.
Showers and 15 today with the 6 o'clock news. Good morning, I'm Graham Goodings.
Make RAA approved windscreen repairer, Complete Windscreens, your insurer repairer of choice. Visit completewindscreens.com.au.
Julian Assange is set to arrive in the American territory of North Mariana Islands in the Pacific ahead of a court appearance where he'll plead guilty to a single US felony charge. After 12 years stuck in legal limbo, including 5 in a London prison, the WikiLeaks founder will face court to finalise his plea deal with the US Justice Department. Mr. Assange's brother, Gabriel Shipton, says it's a massive relief.
So happy that he'll be reunited with his family in Australia, and all credit to the Australian government who have been advocating for him diplomatically, as well as the Australian people who have been fighting for Julian's freedom alongside us.
Safe Work SA has found the Royal Adelaide Hospital has violated health and safety laws and has given the hospital until July 9 to correct the problems. The RAH has been told to fix issues that are causing psychological risks to clinicians at the overstressed emergency department or face a fine of up to $250,000. 6 youths charged following a disturbance at the Arndale Shopping Centre will front court today. Mel Usher reports.
Police were called to Arndale at Kilkenny yesterday afternoon after reports a group of youths were threatening a man. 2 were allegedly carrying knives at the time. 1 also allegedly threw a rock, hitting a person. The boys, aged 13, 14 and 16, were picked up nearby and later charged. They'll front court today after spending the night in custody. It comes just days after 3 youths were arrested and charged following a fight at Westfield Marion, which was the catalyst for sending the centre into lockdown.
A new study suggests having a high level of visceral fat could affect the brain size and cognitive function. Monash University.
For about a third of Australia's generation capacity, AMO believes wind power will dominate, but will need to more than double our current capacity. It also says we'll need another 86 gigawatts of rooftop solar. At the moment, we've got just 18.
Scammers are expected to take advantage of unsuspecting Australians as many prepare to file their tax returns. Gavin Ord from CPA Australia says unsolicited text messages impersonating the Australian Tax Office are one of the most common types of scams at this time of year. He says these often contain links to fake MyGov web pages set up to steal personal and financial information.
And what they're hoping for is that one person over 10,000 to click on that link and they're off. So I just say everyone just be very sceptical.
The ATO doesn't include links in its texts, making it easier to distinguish between legitimate and illegitimate messages. Now turning to FIVEAA Sport.
Colours, custom design, any house, any style. Gliderol Garage Doors. Gliderol.com.au.
And good morning, Jace Kemp.
And good morning to you, Graham. Crows captain Jordan Dawson believes Adelaide's football department has the right people in charge to take the club forward. The skipper says they don't need any extra help to turn its form around.
We've got great people in head roles around the club, so from my point of view, I've got some great leaders and mentors that I lean on. So personally, I don't feel like we need any external people to come in.
That audio thanks to Seven. Meantime, Geelong skipper Patrick Dangerfield has been cleared of a rough conduct charge at the AFL Tribunal and is free to play Essendon on Saturday night. 90,000 fans are expected to pack the MCG tonight for Game 2 of State of Origin. Maroons assistant Matt Borland says Queensland is ready to wrap up the series with another win.
You know, we've had a great preparation. Everyone's got through the week really well. Everyone's really focused on their job and understand what they're playing for and feel like we've got all of Queensland behind us. So that's the main thing. The spirit of Queensland's really high amongst the players.
Adelaide United teenager Moussa Touré will leave the club after signing with French side Clermont Foot. And finally, England and Slovenia are locked at 0-0 in the second half at the Euros. And that's the FIVEAA Sport.
And now the FIVEAA forecast.
See any issue firsthand with AutoCam. Real-time video, direct to you from your Automasters technician.
Showers and 15 today, tomorrow 17 with a shower or 2, Friday a shower or 2, 18, and Saturday showers 16. Currently it's 9. More news as it happens on FIVEAA.
The critical part of any healthcare is the care. It's about being by your side when you and your loved ones need us most. Through late night fevers, through the rough and tumble of weekend sports, through weird rashes, mystery aches, and knowing in your heart that something's not quite right. From surgery to rehabilitation, through emergencies, mental illness, chronic diseases, and for better health. Your doctor cares. Let's take care of them too. Authorised by Dr. David Pope, Samoa, Adelaide.
Tap into big savings with Solar Heart Hot Water. Get a $400 trade-in on your old hot water system right now. Then enjoy energy savings for years to come. That's right. For a limited time, all Solar Heart water heaters, including solar, Atmos heat pumps, and Power Store Solar Smart electric systems, come with a $400 trade-in on top of generous government incentives. Stop pouring money down the drain with your old water heater. Get smart. Get Solar Heart. Terms and conditions apply.
Now, having grown up in the foothills, Stacey, I can tell you, take it from me, the Adelaide Hills are most certainly alive. So many new families are now making the tree change. These people enjoy the space, they seek change. They've chosen to discover what is on the road less travelled.
So, if you are heading up to the hills, up the freeway, turn off the freeway at Bridgewater. You'll discover the home of MG in the hills.
MG's long history of innovation continues at Adelaide Hills MG, and right now they have stock available at unbelievable drive-away prices. MG's from just $18,990, drive away with a 7-year warranty. T's and C's apply.
Take the road less travelled to MG's home in the hills. Adelaide Hills MG since 1954. Mount Barker Road, Bridgewater. LMVD 325189.
Go Vita, your local health food shops. Over 30 years health and wellness experience and over 300 natural health practitioners specialising in you.
Hi, I'm Wayne from Go Vita Mount Barker. We've got Fusion Astra 8 60 tablets, not $49.95, just $29.95. Fusion Astra 8 contains astragalus and reishi mushrooms. Always read the label and follow directions for use.
Go Vita, Colonnades, Fairview Green, Marion, Mount Barker, Manopara, Semaphore and Tanunda.
The AFL's Kids Go Free Month is here. Across runs 16 to 19, all kids aged 14 and under can go to the footy for free.
It all kicks off this weekend when the Adelaide Crows host the GWS Giants on Saturday night at Adelaide Oval.
Watch the stars shine, enjoy the kid-friendly activities, and make it a night to remember for the whole family.
Tickets and more info at afl.com.au/kidsgofree.
Terms and conditions apply, subject to capacity and availability.
See you there!
In Adelaide and across South Australia, this is FIVEAA, always Adelaide.
Purchase any Hyundai until June 30 for 3 years free scheduled servicing. T's and C's apply at participating Hyundai dealers.
FIVEAA Winter Breakfast. Stacey Lee and Tom Wren.
Great to be with you again this morning on this Wednesday, the 26th of June. It is 9 minutes past 6 o'clock. Another cool, crisp morning out there. Not too much rain about at the moment. We have had some, though. And it's a very warm welcome to Stacey Lee, who joins me again this morning. Hello, Stace.
Happy Wednesday, Tommy. Very warm welcome. I'm not sure though.
Yeah.
It's freezing.
It is pretty cold, isn't it?
And the rain.
Oh, we got a good drink yesterday, didn't we?
Yeah.
Serious rain.
I was actually walking through the mall and I thought, oh, great day to be in an open mall. But we need it.
It was so good, wasn't it? I think you said this time yesterday we had something like 9.5 mils, or It was that 10 mils before you didn't have to water the garden. I reckon we definitely got more than 10 mils since 9 o'clock yesterday.
Yep. Put the sprinkler away. We got 8.2 mils in Adelaide yesterday.
Only 8.2? I would have thought it would have been a bit more.
I thought so as well.
Oh, maybe we got some more in some other areas. Send through your text messages, 044808 1395, or give us a buzz. I would have thought some people got upwards of 20. Felt like that kind of a day, but maybe I was just noticing it.
Maybe there's more to come. What are we getting? 95% chance of 5 to 15 mil today, the Bureau says.
All right, well, that's good.
And, a little bit warmer. 15's the top. It's hardly anything, is it?
It's fractions, isn't it? It's not a lot.
Oh, well, this is winter. It's what we wanted.
And you know what?
We've been wanting rain.
Yeah, we've been complaining all May that we had no rain. The driest May in however long, I think, since more than 50 years. So it is nice to have it.
Oh, yeah.
It is really good to have it. Not much you can do, though, is there, outside? I went for a quick walk yesterday when I was across the road at 9 and just decided to get a coffee, and, you got to pack the brolly and, just the little things. You just got to be prepared because it was bucketing down.
I forgot the umbrella yesterday, so I was a mess.
No.
And I have a new car. And the car got rained on, and I was like, no, not the car already. I've only had it 2 days.
So what's the issue there?
So I think I'm the one to blame for the rain.
Yeah.
Getting a new car that was clean, crisp, perfect, not a smudge on it. So you're welcome.
Yeah.
Everyone out there whose garden needed a water, you are welcome.
It was
it's my
Stacey.
fault. Yeah.
Stacey did the little rain dance by not wanting the rain, and then the reverse psychology.
Also,
Always
can
works
I
that
just
way.
say something off topic, Tommy?
Yeah, of course.
I had a comment from a couple of people yesterday, actually, who were watching along on the Foodland Supermarkets Facebook and YouTube live stream.
Mm-hmm.
We were matching yesterday in khaki coloured tops.
We were. Someone else mentioned to me as well that we were matching.
And we've done it again today, unintentionally. We're both wearing cream jumpers.
We are, aren't we? I can't believe that. I usually have the gym gear because I try and get myself in the, psyched up to go to the gym afterwards. But today I've got some other stuff I need to do afterwards. So I've actually dressed a bit warmer, and I wouldn't normally wear something like this, but we're matching.
I love it.
We got to make it a thing now.
We're couples dressing. I know. Now we'll have to plan our outfits the whole week. Matching tie, matching dress, like we're going to a gala ball together.
We have hosted together before.
We have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should be more of it.
Well, why not?
Yeah, I love it. It's been a bit of fun. Well, speaking of matching, we're going to be talking a touch of etiquette after 6:30 this morning with Lucy.
Yeah.
So maybe she can...
Are you... Sorry.
No, I was going to say maybe she can...
talk about that. I do want to ask, though, I wonder if there is anyone out there who do couples dress, because I'm a fan of it.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever we are going out to an event, I will say to Ben, I'm wearing a dress that's this colour. Do you have a tie that matches?
Yeah, so if you've got a beautiful yellow dress on, maybe you wear a yellow tie or something.
Yeah, something complimentary.
Yeah.
We had friends over on the weekend and I was wearing a pink dress and he got out a dark green shirt and I said, no, could you do the pink? So we do it. I don't mind doing it, but then you often see it on holidays.
Mm-hmm.
It will be a couple wearing the same jumper. It's very Kath and Kel. You know Kath and Kim?
Yeah.
Yes, hello, please.
Yeah. Look at me.
Yeah. I like it. I want to know this morning, does anyone else... Do you like couples dressing or not?
I like that. I've never... Sarah tends to... She might do it inadvertently without even telling me because I've got no fashion sense. So she probably does do it and I'm like, oh, are we matching, are we? So yeah, I don't even realise it's happening.
I quite like it.
Yeah.
Oh, especially with kids. We used to make fun of our mum for dressing us all together, but I like it now. I like it when the kids are matching.
Actually, speaking of dressing up, it's Charlie. I don't know why they're doing it, but it's his pyjama day at school today, so they go in their pyjamas.
So
he's 5.
With this, does he wear fresh pyjamas or does he just wear the pyjamas he wore to bed last night?
He's supposed to wear fresh ones, but he was so excited he's worn them to bed last night.
Oh, that's very cute.
So yeah, he'll wear a hoodie or jumper on top, and then shoes and socks and all that kind of stuff. But very excited today.
Pajama day, how cute!
Oh, it is. I can't remember. I mean, I remember casual day and all those kinds of things, and that still happens where you don't have to wear the uniform, but. Never heard of pajama day
Yeah,
before.
we did pajama day, but I always found it pressure because then you've got to have nice pajamas and they've got to be clean. They can't be the ones you've been wearing for a week with toothpaste stains down the front.
And it's what you wear to bed,
Yeah.
People aren't supposed to really see it except for...
On the couch, track it,
those that really know you.
No.
But anyway, at that age,
it's very cute.
Going to be a lot of fun.
Very cute.
Big show coming up today, Stacey. We have got, we're going to hear a little bit more audio. That story with Warren Treadray continues to roll on, so we'll talk a little bit about that. We're going to be talking about shop worker safety. That has been in the headlines this week, hasn't it? It's been a big story.
Yeah, absolutely. After the incident at Marion and yesterday at Arndale as well. And then a bit later on, we'll break down the government's announcement yesterday. Your power bills are going up. Average $85 a year for the average household. So you're paying to connect water to new housing developments in South Australia. The government says it's split this three ways. SA water bill payers, you and me. The government will be paying a third and then developers will be paying for a third. But I would argue we're paying twice because the government paying for a third is you and me paying for a third in our taxes as well. And then potentially some people paying three times because if they're buying a house, the developers will pass on the cost as well. So we'll be talking about that with the Premier later on this morning and the Opposition Leader David Spears.
Yeah, looking forward to digging a little bit deeper into that. We'll go round the courts as well with Sean Fuster. So plenty coming up on 5AA Breakfast this morning. We are up and away. It is 16 minutes past 6.
2025 Europe and UK summer tours are now on sale with Albatross Tours and Phil Hoffman Travel. Experience Europe like never before with Albatross Tours' unique and award-winning itineraries with longer stays, high-quality hotels and small group sizes. Save up to $700 per couple on select itineraries, including the 17-night Italian Grande Tour and 14-night Switzerland and Glacier Express. Offer ends 31st of July. Contact Phil Hoffman Travel. Visit pht.com.au.
Complete Windscreens, home of the Big Red Koala. We're a 50-year-old family-owned business that is now an RAA-approved repairer. So for chip repairs, supply and fit windscreens, tinting and ADAS calibration, make sure you tell your insurer or fleet manager you want Complete Windscreens on the job. For emergency glass repairs, contact Complete Windscreens for the best price, quality and same-day service. CompleteWindscreens.com.au, 220 Main North Road Prospect, home of the Big Red Koala.
Respiratory syncytial virus, or RSV, is a contagious virus causing respiratory illness in older adults and even death among the frail elderly. Vaccines to fight the disease are approved overseas, but now Fusion Clinical Research is holding a trial to find a remedy for Australia. If you're over 60 and want to take part, go to fusiontrials.com.au or call 7077 6996. That's 7077 6996. You'll be reimbursed for your time.
Trumpets, please. The trumpets are sounding the final call for the Edwardstown Mazda end of financial year sale. Get our lowest ever drive-away offers, huge Mazda factory bonuses, plus an extra $2,000 trade-in bonus. And $1,000 in Edwardstown Mazda credit to spend however you'd like. The finale is fast approaching. Hurry, sale ends June 30.
It's gotta be
Edwardstown Mazda, the #1 destination for Mazda in SA.
Over 60,000 Adelaide homes have said yes to saving money on their energy bills with Yes, your energy saving solutions. What's keeping you? Did you know that you might be eligible for a rebate on a new appliance like a dryer or fridge? You might even qualify for a purchase you've already made. Just visit the Yes website for a list of appliances and the size of the cashback available. For T's and C's on this unbeatable offer from your energy saving solutions, go to yes.net.au. That's yes.net.au.
Shopping should be exciting, not dull. An adventure, not a chore. And fresh, not routine. So experience something new at Newton Central with Drake's, Serenity Hair & Co, Fandy Scissorhands, Terry White Chemist, Glitter and Polish Nail Salon, and many more. Including the brand new Séjour Club, an independent boutique with one-of-a-kind handcrafted apparel and jewellery from 2 local designers. Want something new in your life? Choose a new local. Choose Newton Central, Gorge Road, Newton.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube. Purchase any Hyundai until June 30 for 3 years free scheduled servicing. T's and C's apply at participating Hyundai dealers.
5AA Winter Breakfast. Stacey Lee and Tom Wren.
19 minutes past 6 o'clock on 5AA Breakfast. Currently 9 degrees outside at the moment. Time to check out the headlines. We'll get to the weather in more depth shortly. But a big story happening overnight and into this morning, Stace. Julian Assange is set to arrive in the American territory of the North Mariana Islands in the Pacific about now ahead of a court appearance where he'll plead guilty to a single US felony charge. Now, after 12 years stuck in legal limbo, including 5 in a London prison, the WikiLeaks founder will face court to finalise his plea deal with the US Justice Department. Mr Assange's brother, Gabriel Shipton, says it is a massive relief.
So happy that he'll be reunited with his family in Australia, and all credit to the Australian government who have been advocating for him diplomatically, as well as the Australian people who have been fighting for Julian's freedom alongside us.
It sounds like him, doesn't it?
It does,
they sound
doesn't
very
it?
similar.
Yeah.
And we are watching the live pictures of the airport in Saipan as well, where he's due to arrive very soon. So we'll make sure we bring you up to date on the latest throughout the morning.
Yeah, that's been a huge story for over a decade now. We're also going to chat more about this story after 7 o'clock, but 6 teenagers have spent the night in custody over an incident at the Arndale Shopping Centre. Police were called to Kilkenny yesterday afternoon after reports a group of young people were threatening a man. 2 were allegedly carrying knives at the time. The group, aged 13, 14 and 16, will face court today. Now, that, of course, comes just days after 3 young men were charged following a fight at Westfield Marion, which saw the centre placed in lockdown. So, again, those ages.
13, 14 and 16 on a Tuesday afternoon. I think it was about 2 o'clock this happened, or maybe before. Aren't they meant to be at school?
Yeah, exactly.
I do not understand what kids that age are doing in a shopping centre, or what kids that age are doing with knives, allegedly. None of this makes sense to me.
No, it's frustrating, isn't it? And given, what we've just been through as well. And you're right, what's going on? Where are these kids? Where are their carers? Where's the school? All of that.
Where are they getting knives from? And then, there's vision that's been released from the Marion incident now, and it kind of looks like one of them is carrying a machete. Where does a 15 or 16-year-old get a machete from?
Yeah. And the motivation,
I don't think I've ever seen a machete in real life.
Yeah.
Where would you get one?
I know. How do you source that? Why would you source that? All of those questions. Different world, isn't it?
Yep.
Average water bills will rise by $85 annually to fund water and sewer infrastructure works from July 1. SA Water customers will face bill rises capped at $21 per quarter. Depending on use and average property value, it's to accommodate 40,000 home allotments over the next 4 years. Again, another story we'll unpack further with the Premier.
Yeah, this is going to be a big one throughout the day. How do you feel about it? We'd love to get your thoughts. 8223 0000. Are you happy to accept the extra $80 plus a year on your water bills for the bigger picture, grand scheme, 40,000 new homes? We know we're in a housing crisis. Or are you thinking, this isn't my responsibility. This is years of failed government policy. I should not be footing the bill for this. This is something that the government and developers should be paying for on their own. So we'd love to get your thoughts. Send us a text on the Duttons text line 0448 08 1395.
It's been 50 years since the first barcode was scanned. A packet of Wrigley's Juicy Fruit gum, I used to love Juicy Fruit as a kid, was the first to have a barcode, setting in motion a global system which now sees more than 10 billion barcodes scanned every day and cards scanned every day. In fact, if you have cash, you're the odd one out.
I always have cash.
Yeah, I love having cash.
I always have cash on me.
Yeah.
Always.
I hate places that don't take cash. It really irks me.
No, yeah, me too.
It's like, well, no, this is
It's
currency.
legal tender.
Yeah.
Let me use my cash, please. My hard-earned cash. Yeah, no, absolutely. I had to scan a QR code yesterday to get a receipt.
Really?
And I was so annoyed about it because I just thought, I'm shopping. The item was small, so I put it in my handbag. I said, no, don't worry about a bag. I'll put it in here. And then I thought, no, I need a receipt in case I'm going in and out of other shops and someone's going to think I've stolen it. And they said, scan the QR code to get your receipt. No, because then you have to enter a name and you've probably got to register a password. I don't want to sign up for another thing. I just want you to give me a printout of a receipt, please.
Yeah, and then they've got your details and
No, I don't want
all of
anyone
that.
having my data,
Yeah.
although I think
It's all out there
2024,
anyway.
it's all out there.
Yeah. New Cancer Council modelling predicts an additional 1,200 teenagers will take up vaping each week if proposed legislation doesn't pass. Labor has struck a deal with the Greens, which will see the nicotine products sold behind the counter at pharmacies. Council spokeswoman Alicia Brooks says vaping can have major health implications.
Young Australians who vape are 3 times as likely to take up tobacco smoking compared to young Australians who have never vaped. We know that it can be both unintentional and intentional poisoning. There can be acute toxicity from the nicotine, and there's lung injury, not to mention burns and things like that from these sort of devices exploding.
I see as well that the Coalition has announced its vaping policy today.
Yeah.
Shadow Health Minister Anne Ruston made the announcement yesterday that if the LNP gets elected federally at the next state election, they would legalise the sale of nicotine vapes. And I've got to say, this is something that I support. I've been saying that this needs to happen. I think what the federal government is doing, what the Labor and the Greens are doing is ridiculous, making vapes legal for sale in pharmacies without a prescription now. You can just walk into a pharmacy and say, I need some help quitting smoking. Can you give me a vape? And you can get a vape in a pharmacy. And I think in 5-10 years' time, they'll have to legalise them, and we're going to be 5-10 years behind the ball. Behind the 8 ball.
There's a massive campaign going on advertising-wise, isn't there, about vaping and the issues right now. So it's a big story. So, yeah, we'll follow that one closely. The weather outside at the moment, Stace, 15 degrees and showers today. It's currently 9 degrees, so we're expecting anywhere from 5 to 15 mils. We had a good drop yesterday. We'll find out more and exactly how much from the Weather Bureau in what particular areas. Just after 6:30 tomorrow, a shower or two easing 17 degrees. A shower or two and 18 for Friday, so up to a couple of millimetres of rain on Friday, around 4 millimetres tomorrow. Then for the weekend, it is looking like we're going to get some significant rain again. Showers and 16 degrees on Saturday, anywhere from 2 to 10 millimetres of rain. And that, of course, is important. People might be thinking or going to the football, have their own football or other outdoor activities that they've got planned. And then on Sunday, it is going to be chilly, 14 degrees and showers, up to 8 millimetres of rain for Sunday. So doesn't look like there are too many days when we're not going to get at least a little bit of a sprinkle of rain, which isn't a bad thing. We need it.
Yeah,
it's
we
winter,
do. We do.
But it's cold, and you're going to need to dress accordingly.
Yeah. And good morning to Chris Jarma. He sent us a text on the Dutton's text line,
good.
0448081395. He's in Paris at the moment with the swim team, and it's Carl Chalmers' birthday. So he sent us a photo of a little cake he's made for Carl Chalmers. Happy birthday, Kyle, with a fish on the plate. Look at that. That's lovely.
Third Olympics for Kyle Chalmers. He smashed his way through and had some injuries to deal with as well in the last couple of weeks during the swimming trials, but he's through, he's there. And he's a big chance to medal again. Hopefully, a gold. He went silver in the last Olympics, and of course, I think it was about 8 years ago now, he took the gold. So he's a massive opportunity to South Aussie, who's so talented.
Speaking of gold.
Yes, we've got the gold medal man himself here. Let's talk some sport, shall we? And we will do that. Colours, custom design, any house, any style, Gliderol Garage Doors, gliderol.com.au. It's a very good morning to Sammy Daddo. Hello, Sammy.
Morning, Stace. Morning, Rennie. I want to start off by, do you guys believe in jinxing things? Do you?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah.
Tell me.
I used to. I'm not so sure anymore.
I am 100% on board now, and I'll tell you why. So we all know Australia in the T20 World Cup. We needed Bangladesh to win, to beat Afghanistan. Afghanistan set 5 for 115. So you thought the total was gettable.
Definitely.
Many rain delays. Did you watch any of it?
I watched the whole thing. It was an absolute farce.
So we'll get to that point as well. Many rain delays. As I said, we needed Bangladesh to win. We're all huddled around our computers because you can only watch it on Prime Video.
7 for 80 was the time when one Stephen Rowe arrived into the office. Bangladesh was 7 for 80, and they needed to track down about 115. So we thought the opener was still in. He was looking set, and we thought, okay, just don't jinx it. We filled Rowe into what was actually going on. Oh, Bangladesh are going to easily win, aren't they? The next 3 minutes was wicket, 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 and this is how it ended.
There's Naveen, he goes to Mustafizur Rahman. Oh, that's out! That's out! Afghanistan have done it! They've done it! From Kabul to Kandahar, they'll all be celebrating. Have a look at them. It might well be premature, but they're already in Trinidad. Absolutely fantastic scenes here.
So once every wicket fell, I thought it was right for me to tell Rowie what I thought of his actions beforehand.
He put the curse on.
Massive curse. Rashid Khan, 4 for 23.
He was amazing.
Did you see the range string?
Unbelievable.
Have you ever heard of anyone pulling a hamstring setting up at first slip?
That was unbelievable. So the way it worked was we needed Bangladesh to win, but there was a lot of rain coming, and Afghanistan had to win to go through. And when the rain started coming, Afghanistan was slightly in front. So if they went off, they would have won the game. And so at that point, the coach said, slow the game down, so that if it rains, we're going to win. So a bloke fielding at first slip, no one around, went down like he'd been shot and stayed on the ground for 5 to 10 minutes, hoping that the rain would come. It was ludicrous. It was an absolute...
He didn't even move. I saw he just sort of touched his leg like, oh,
and then
no.
went down like he'd been... It was hilarious. But this is the problem. The ICC... work it out. If you're going to have pools of teams, do it like they do at the Soccer Euros or the World Cup. You have to play the final game. So Australia were playing their final game against India. Yesterday, the Bangladesh-Afghanistan game. They have to be at the same time so you don't get any collusion or stuff like this happening, because it just makes a mockery of the whole thing.
Fire up, Rennie. I like this.
It was stupid.
It was terrible. But yeah, the old range string. There you go.
But good on Afghanistan. I'm delighted. The Aussies didn't deserve to go through.
No, this is the thing now. I'm jumping on board Afghanistan.
Yeah, I hope
our
they
man
win it.
Rashid Khan.
Yep.
Let's go.
I'm not going for India, South Africa, or England.
Oh God, no.
Despise all of them. So, well, not despise, but don't want to see them win. I'd rather see Afghanistan.
100%.
Anyway, Sammy, thank you. Good stuff. We're going to head across to the newsroom. Graham Goodings and Jace Kemp with the very latest.
This is 5AA News, always Adelaide.
Showers and 15 today with the 6:30 news. I'm Graham Goodings.
Chipped windscreen? RAA approved repairer Complete Windscreens repairs it from just $99. Find the big red koala.
Julian Assange is a step closer to freedom after more than a decade trapped in legal limbo in the UK. The 52-year-old is in the Mariana Islands, a remote territory of the US, where he'll face court to complete his plea deal with the US government. Guam News Chief Regional Correspondent Thomas Manglona has told Today many are eagerly awaiting the outcome.
He's expected to just spend a few hours here and immediately return to Australia at the end of the court proceedings. But of course, it's not over till it's over, and we can only speculate at this point. But we will be heading to the courthouse following Assange along the roadway as he enters the district court.
Court today for 6 teens charged over an incident at Kilkenny. Police were called to the Arndale shopping centre yesterday afternoon after reports a group of young people were threatening a man. 2 were allegedly carrying knives at the time. 6 teenagers aged 13, 14 and 16 have spent the night in custody and will face court today. It comes just days after 3 young men were charged following a fight at Westfield Marion, which saw the centre placed into lockdown. A national accounting body is reminding us to be wary of digital scams as tax time approaches. CPA Australia's Gavin Ord says Australian Tax Office branded texts and emails containing links to fake MyGov web pages are one of the most common scams at this time of year. He says it's important to avoid clicking on these links and to be wary of anyone making unexpected requests for personal or financial information.
What I'd also suggest is don't only not click on that link, but don't call the phone number in that message. Go to the ATO website and get the ATO phone number from the ATO website, or speak to your accountant.
New figures show 1 in 2 Australians have a chronic health condition. Gabriel Hodson has the details.
The latest National Health Survey from the Bureau of Statistics has found at least half of all Aussies have at least one chronic health condition. For 26% of the population, that's a mental or behavioural condition, and of those, more than half have multiple long-term health issues. In fact, News Corp says it's the most common chronic issue, leading back pain on almost 16% and arthritis on 14%. Across the entire population with chronic health conditions, 52% are women.
Hundreds of thousands of staff members have been underpaid around $203 million in wages at 30 Australian universities. The National Tertiary Education Union has conducted the analysis and wants an urgent parliamentary inquiry into the issue. President Dr Alison Barnes says vulnerable workers are the most affected.
We're looking at wage theft of an industrial scale. We're looking at wage theft of around $380 million. And this is a really damning indictment of university management, of the management of Australian universities.
A giant planet-killer asteroid is set to make a very close sweep past Earth. The space rock, the size of Mount Everest, is set to come within 4 million miles of Earth in the coming days, its closest approach in 110 years. NASA says while it may come close enough to impact climate change, it will still be more than 17 times as far away as the Moon. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Gliderol Garage Doors, adding strength, style and safety to your home. Gliderol.com.au.
And here's Jace Kemp.
Thank you, Graham. We'll start with footy, and Crow skipper Jordan Dawson believes Adelaide can quickly turn around its on-field woes. The captain says the club's poor form has nothing to do with coach Matthew Nicks.
That's certainly not on Nixie as a coach to go out there and play for us. So, yeah, that's definitely on us as players. It's a simple fix from my point of view. We got to start winning and playing footy that the fans and all our supporters across the country are proud of.
That audio thanks to 7. Meantime, Patrick Dangerfield has beaten a rough conduct charge for his dangerous tackle on Sam Walsh and is free to play Essendon on Saturday night. To cricket, and Australia's T20 World Cup campaign is officially over after failing to make the semi-finals. The Aussies needed Bangladesh to beat Afghanistan, but the Afghans clinched an 8-run win to go through to the Final Four.
From Kabul to Kandahar, they'll all be celebrating. Have a look at them.
Adelaide United forward Moussa Touré will depart the club after signing with Clermont Foot in the French League 2. The talented teenager will join brothers Al Hassan and Mohamed Touré, who are also playing in France. And finally, in the Euros, England and Slovenia have drawn in a scoreless match. England have finished on top of Group C and will go through to the round of 16. And that's the 5AA Sport.
And now the 5AA forecast.
See any issue firsthand with AutoCam. Real-time video, direct to you from your Automasters technician.
15 with showers today, tomorrow a shower or 2, 17, Friday 18 with a shower or 2, and Saturday showers and 16. Right now in Adelaide it's 9. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Purchase any Hyundai until June 30 for 3 years free scheduled servicing. T's and C's apply at participating Hyundai dealers.
5AA Winter Breakfast. Stacey Lee and Tom Wren.
6:36 on 5AA Breakfast, Wednesday the 26th of June. Stacey Lee and Tom Wren with you, joined in the studio by Lucy Loken. Lucy, good morning to you.
Good morning. Bring some class in, Lucy.
Yeah, bring
we
some.
We need a bit of etiquette. We need some class here this morning.
Well, we were talking about matching, and we're saying maybe we've got to try and do it for the rest of the week. What's the etiquette with that? Couples dressing.
Are you into couples dressing, Luce?
No, I think don't try too hard with it. Like it's just a nice coincidence. Please don't text each other ahead of tomorrow. It's one step too far.
Yeah.
She's going to come in tomorrow and we'll both be wearing pink.
The exact same outfit.
Pink fascinators or something.
I know. Well,
Hawaiian shirts.
I've gone the khaki a day later than you guys, but that's all right. I'm one step behind. Now it is time for a touch of etiquette, and we'd love to hear from you this morning, 82230000. For someone who calls in on their thoughts on this quandary, we've got some tickets to the Glenelg Winter Arts Festival. Shows, eats, drinks and festive fun at the Bay, 5 to 21st of July in Collie Reserve. We'd love to get you along to see Rouge. So for someone who calls in this morning on this quandary. Now this is brought to us by listener Shane. And he texted me one day and said, this actually happened to me and I needed some genuine help. He was taken out for dinner by either a work colleague or his boss or someone like that who said, I'll pay for your dinner.
Mm.
And he thought, well, this is a work dinner. Do I order the most expensive food, or do I keep it moderate?
Go down. So do I go for the
Keep
steak?
it average. Yeah. Do I go for the
Lobster
Wagyu steak?
thermidor?
Yeah, that's
$50
right.
steak or...
What do you do in this situation? You're at a work dinner. Someone's paying for you. Either it's a business meeting or they're just happy to cover it. Do you pick the most expensive item on the menu?
I would say...
Or do you keep it usual? 8223 0000. Would love your thoughts, because as soon as he said it, and now I haven't been in this situation, but as soon as he said it, I thought, well, I don't know what I...
The bosses here have never
do.
taken you out for a nice dinner, nice lobster, nice steak.
I'll remain silent on that one.
There was
But
a pregnant pause there, wasn't there?
It was, yeah. The face.
8223 0000. What do you do? Have you been in this situation? Did you pick the lobster with caviar and gold carrot flakes? I don't know. Or
Just
did
go
you stick
all
with
in.
the chicken schnitzel? What do you do?
I reckon it depends on the relationship, doesn't it? You know, if it's strong, and
Yeah.
maybe what they order as well.
I was
See
about to
what
say,
they order
I think
first.
I'm guided by them. I'm indecisive at the
Yeah.
best of times. I'm that person
Same.
who goes, oh, ask everyone else and come back to me
Yep.
at the end.
I'm always,
Yeah, I'm a panic order.
I'm
Me
always
also.
like, if I went out for dinner with you both, I'd be like, do you just want to share? You girls order, and I'll just happy with whatever.
Really?
No dietary requirements. Yep. I'm a sharer as well. I
I'm a
like to-
sharer, yeah. I
Let's get a few-
cannot stand when
'cause I
you
get
go
FOMO.
out. Yes, me too. I want a little bit of everything,
Yeah.
especially with a meal like Chinese or Thai, where you want a little bit of
Yeah.
everything. Everything has to go in the middle, and
Mhm.
everyone has to share. And if there's that one person that doesn't want to,
But for something like Thai, you can order, say, a $40 beautiful barramundi that's got all ginger and garlic and chili and spices. Or do you just stick with the pad Thai, which is usually about $19? Then what do you do?
Yeah.
Someone else is paying. Usually it's your boss or a friend, whatever.
This is tough. I'm torn. I
Yeah.
think, if it's on the company, go for gold. But then the other part of me thinks, no, do you want to be that person?
Yeah, that's right.
Are they going
There's
to
the
be
question,
judging you?
are you that person?
No.
And then the
to
next
your
day,
I
boss?
don't think I could do it.
Stacey ordered that.
Yeah.
She ordered the steak and she had the entree as well. Like, what?
Yeah. And dessert. Yeah. I can't believe she ordered the Grange. What is this woman doing?
Let's get to Russell at Blakeview, shall we? Russell, good morning to you.
Good morning, everybody. How are we?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Hey, yeah, I've actually had the experience being a manager, and I've taken staff out, and you can see the change, seriously. Like, we used to socialise, you go out for a beer or meal after, but when I went out and the company was paying, it's amazing. People went from drinking beer to whiskey or a $20 bottle of wine to a $70 bottle of wine.
Yeah.
And I used to look at them and think, I know what you're doing. And with me, I'm a sharer, but I'm also very conscious of when, you're a manager, you sort of treat it as your own money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I used to see it all the time, and I used to look at them, and I'd say to them after, and the comment was, well, the company's paying for it, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And I disagree with that.
It's a bit cheeky, isn't it? And the other one, too, that irks me, Russell, is if you are in a managerial position, you might be, earning a bit more money, but you might buy them a round of drinks or something. You don't mind buying a few or a few rounds, but as long as they at least perhaps offer.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that's the key there, if you offer, but, when you're out socialising with all your other colleagues and everybody sees what you drink and eat,
Yeah.
and then when you go out, and it always used to be, I've got to be honest, it was just this one person, and it used to irk all of us after. They go, did you see him do it again? And you go, oh. Anyway, yeah. I think, as you normally go, it's a bit, you're lucky. I'm not saying you're lucky. You probably earned the opportunity to go out and the company pay
Of course.
for it. But have respect.
Yeah.
Have respect.
Bit of respect. I like it.
Good thought, Russell. And
Yes.
coming from a managerial point of view.
Yeah,
Interesting.
that's good.
And like you said, there was that one person every time.
Every time. Ordering
Yes.
rare Japanese whiskey or something like that. Coming in the next morning going, I'm not even hungover. How good was that booze we all had last night?
Let's get to Prospect. Frank has given us a call as well. Hello there, Frank. What was your experience?
Because I'm probably a moral type of person, because if I'm going out to eat with any of the colleagues, like the boss and all that, I just eat what I normally eat. I don't go overboard because someone else is paying. It's just like, if you go to a Christmas function and you get drunk or something like that, they're going to think of you as being a drunk or you know, a spendthrift.
Yeah.
You know, and you're not like that.
Yeah, it's a reputational kind of thing, isn't it? Frank makes a good point there. And if you're happy just to continue eating what you usually eat, there's no reason you need to therefore decide you suddenly love lobster.
Yeah, I might give it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, this will be my night to try
it. Yeah.
Never done it before, but this is the night. Let's have a chat to Debbie at Semaphore. Hi, Debbie.
Hi guys, how you going? Yeah, I'm kind of like the last caller. I definitely would just probably eat what you want to eat. My bosses don't take us to places where you can order lobsters, but you know, a nice pub. But you know, I think it as overtime. You know, it swings around and roundabouts. You may not get paid for certain overtime, so they'll get an extra glass of wine when your boss pays for the dinner or something.
And you know what? It's a good thing to do, isn't it? And it engenders that sense of community, and then I think the employees feel like they're valued if you.
Yeah.
So there is that as well. You know, like get a nice meal. Like I feel like, you know, they rate me. They think I'm good. So you work maybe that bit harder.
Take me out every now and then.
Yeah.
That's a really good thought, Debbie. I like that. And you know what? This text I think sums it up for me. Josh, I've worked for a few companies and it depends on the size of the company with what I've ordered. Currently with a small one, everyone went palmies on a Monday night and only drank basic beers. And I think that's a really good point. If it's a small family-owned business, you know, if there's 10 employees, I'm ordering what I normally order.
Yeah. You're not out to exploit them, are you?
No.
You're just there for a catch-up. Well, like Debbie says...
But if it's Google, if I'm employed by Google next year, I'm ordering the lobster.
Everyone's getting lobster and Grange to themselves.
That's right. Yeah, if it's a big sort of corporation, I'm just a number. Then, you know.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Maybe one day I will be in that position to our bosses here. Hint, hint. If not, I'll happily take a flat white. But
Lucy's hungover tomorrow. We know where she's been. She's been out for dinner and drinking Dom Perignon.
I know. Oh God, that'd be nice on a Wednesday. Russell in Blakeview, we're going to send you some Glenelg Winter Arts Festival. Thank you for calling in as a manager. Shows, eats, drinks, and festive fun at the Bay, 5th to 21st of July in Collie Reserve. Russell will shoot you out a text message. You are off to see Rouge.
Good stuff. Thanks so much, Lucy.
Thanks,
we should all
Luz.
do a dinner regardless anyway, shouldn't we? At the end of our week and just say, you know what, well done, guys.
Yeah.
We've had a great win.
Are you offering to pay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, great. All
let's do
right.
it, yeah.
Lobsters for us, Luce. Yeah.
You know, it's funny, when I first started, I started at Channel 7, I had a corporate card and I was, you know, reasonably junior. When I went to Melbourne, they gave me a corporate card. It was, but you had to claim it and
qualify it all.
And all of that.
Yeah.
Those days are gone though. You don't have corporate cards anymore.
I would be too scared to use it, even if it was for a work thing, because I'd be like, oh, what if they don't know this is work? What if they're
that's right. They go
ripping them off.
Yeah.
I don't want that responsibility.
And I look back and I go, I barely ever used it. I was like, what was I thinking? You know, should have used it a lot more. But you worry.
Excuse me, Tom Wren, what's this Dan Murphy's purchase?
Yeah.
Is that work related?
Correct. Let's get to the traffic and check out what's happening on the roads for the first time this morning. The new McSmart meal from Macca's. 2 burgers, small fries and small soft drinks, $6.95. T's and C's apply.
Thanks, Tom. And morning, Stacey. Reports of a car fire at Waterloo Corner today, Port Wakefield Road, near Old Port Wakefield Road. Damp roads for the drive-in after overnight showers, particularly through the hills today. Take it easy. Modbury North has works which are slow. McIntyre Road near Milne Road and getting a little busy South Road at Glandore. Bitumen's ripped up, speeds at 40 k's. Early morning cameras, Dawes Road, Ascot Park, and also Cliff Street at Glengarry. Look out for that one too. That's in a 50 zone. It's the end of financial year. MY24 Volkswagen Amarok Core Auto from $57,490 drive away with free 5-year care plan. Ends June 30. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Are you eagerly awaiting a relocation sale to stock up on 4-wheel drive and camping gear? Great news! As of July 1, TJM Clovelly Park will open their doors at their new address, 115 Sheriffs Road, Ranella, which means they're clearing out heaps of ex-display stock and everything must go. Give the crew at TJM Nailsworth a call and find out what's up for grabs at both locations during their relocation sale starting Monday, July 1.
Your Royal Flying Doctor Service comes to the rescue of 15 South Australians every day. It can be a heart attack, motor vehicle accident. It can be a newborn with breathing difficulties. It can be someone you know and love. Your support of the Royal Flying Doctor Service makes all the difference. For the people and the life you love, help keep the Flying Doctor flying. Donate today. Visit flyingdoctor.org.au. That's flyingdoctor.org.au.
It all started in the back shed. Maybe it started early. Or late. Either way, the Olympic Industries sale means there's no need to wait. With big savings on our entire range of SA-engineered sheds, garages, carports and verandas, you can afford to start something big, tough, or tasty in your own backyard. Start something with the Olympic Industries sale. On now.
Harvey Norman clearance on now. The latest tech priced to clear. Save up to 30% on Windows 11 computers. French door fridges on sale. Save $120 on Hisense 483 litre with ice and water. Now under $1,500. Up to 40% off floor stock and X-Display, lounges, dining and outdoor furniture. Amazing value. Nebula queen size bed with 3 storage drawers, USB charger and LED lights, $1,399. Harvey Norman clearance. Best brands, best range at the best price guaranteed. Conditions apply.
At MYOB, we're the OG at making tax time easy. From automating admin to pinging payment reminders for you, MYOB has everything in one place to make sure you're always ready. Because nothing beats the OG at tax time.
Purchase any Hyundai until June 30 for 3 years free scheduled servicing. T's and C's apply at participating Hyundai dealers.
5AA Winter Breakfast. Stacey Lee and Tom Wren.
11 minutes to 7 o'clock and it is winter breakfast. We're getting some winter weather at the moment. To talk more on that, let's head to the Bureau of Meteorology. Mark Anilak joins us on the line. Mark, good morning to you.
Good morning, Tom. Good morning, Stacey.
Tell us, we had quite a bit of rain. How much have we had in the last 24 hours or so?
Yeah, look, generally speaking, we've had probably of the order of 15 to 30 millimetres across the top of the Adelaide Hills there. In the city itself, more like sort of 5 to 15 millimetres. So here in West Terrace, 8 millimetres. Elsewhere around the grounds, Mount Lofty's had 16 millimetres. Noarlunga, 9 millimetres. Kaipo's up to 36 millimetres, so a little bit more over the southern Fleurieu Peninsula. But today, pack the brolly again today. We have another showery day on the way. Top of 15 degrees forecast, but we might struggle to get to that, to be honest. We only made it to 13 degrees yesterday. It was a cool day. But the showers should ease up for tomorrow and Friday. There might be the odd residual shower about, but generally speaking, it should be mainly fine through Thursday, Friday. 17, 18 degrees respectively. Weekend looking wet again, but for today, a showery day, top of 15 degrees.
All right. So wet weekend as well, Mark?
It looks like that way, yes. We have another system moving through at the weekend, which will probably bring a better chance of rainfall across our agricultural areas as well. So a wet weekend in store as well.
All right, Mark. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's Mark Anilak at the Bureau of Meteorology. Let's go to South Australia Police, and Senior Constable Dave Backus is on duty. Morning, Dave.
Good morning.
More teens arrested yesterday with weapons.
Yeah, that's right. So this occurred about 1:30 p.m. yesterday afternoon. Police were called to the Arndale Shopping Centre after reports a group of the youths was threatening a man outside of the shopping centre. And it'll be alleged that 2 of the youths were carrying knives at the time. So the group quickly dispersed, but Western District Patrols located them on nearby Humphreys Terrace, and police located 2 knives amongst the group. So 6 youths were arrested at the scene, and they've been charged with aggravated affray and other offences. And the arrested youths include a 14-year-old boy from Manapara. He's also been charged with carrying an offensive weapon and aggravated assault. A 14-year-old boy from Mansfield Park, who's also charged with aggravated assault. Another 14-year-old boy from Manapara West, who's been charged with carrying an offensive weapon and aggravated assault. And then additionally, a 14-year-old boy from Ethel Park, a 16-year-old boy from Pennington, and a 13-year-old boy from Mansfield Park. So all 6 youths were refused police bail, and they'll appear in the Adelaide Youth Court today. So we're asking anyone with information on the incident who hasn't yet spoken with police to contact Crime Stoppers, please, on 1800 333 000.
Yeah, don't know if it's just coincidence or not, Dave, but it's frustrating for authorities to have to be dealing with issues like this. We had Marion on the weekend as well, but particularly yesterday, kids, and I might be, sounding old and a bit, man yelling at the sky, but why aren't they in school? It's just so frustrating.
Where are their parents?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's very frustrating.
Well, and a drink driver caught yesterday in the southern suburbs. What can you tell us?
Yeah, so that was about 8:40 p.m. last night, police responded to reports of a single vehicle crash at the intersection of Panatalinga and Wheatshift Road. So when they got there, they've located a Holden Amiga that had crashed with a roadside barrier. Police spoke with the driver of the vehicle, a 41-year-old woman from Minorlunga Downs, and she submitted to a breath test, returning a positive result of 0.165, more than 3 times the legal limit. So she's been issued with a 12-month instant loss of licence, and she's been reported for drink driving and drive without due care, and will be summoned to court at a later date. And her vehicle, of course, was badly damaged and was towed from the scene.
Yeah, it's going to be an expensive exercise there. Dave, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you.
Dave Backus there, Senior Constable, joining us from South Australian Police.
It is 7 minutes to 7 here on 5AA. Still getting a couple of texts from you about what you'd order if you went out with your boss.
Oh.
This person says, I work for the education department. I can tell you we've never had a free morning coffee, let alone a free dinner. Yes, I used to be a public sector employee. No tea bags or anything. You BYO everything. And this person says, boss taking me out. If he says nothing, I'd buy my normal price meal. If he says you can order whatever you like, then I'd go for something a bit higher. There you go, Fred. I think that's a good way of thinking.
Keep those coming as well on the Duttons text line. Don't let the Duttons end of financial year deals pass you by. Find your new car at duttons.com.au. 0448 08 1395 is the number.
Well, yesterday we spoke to our own Leith Forrest. Yeah. He was hosting the World Potato Congress here in Adelaide. And we thought, the perfect person to be hosting it. He basically only eats meat and potatoes for his diet.
It's a brown diet, isn't it? Schnitzel.
Makes me feel sick thinking about it.
Yeah.
I just want to eat a big bowl of broccoli thinking about Leith Forrest's diet. But anyway. Nigel Crump is the director of the World Potato Congress, because we wanted to check in and see why Adelaide was the venue for such a world event. Nigel Crump joins you this morning. Morning, Nigel.
Good morning.
I'm guessing you don't disagree with Leith's diet. You probably think it's great. Meat and one veg.
I think it's fantastic, and it's one of the things we learned at the conference, how good potatoes are actually for you.
Yeah. Well, they are bloody good.
Yeah, they are great, and especially this time of year, Nigel, potatoes. But yeah, why Adelaide? How come it is in our great city this year?
Look, Australia is actually a major player on the potato scene. We're producing about 1.4 million tonnes of potatoes, and it's the first time this Congress was in Australia. So Adelaide is the heart of the fresh market of the Australian potato industry. It's quite appropriate that Adelaide does host the International Potato Congress.
And are we quite innovative as well? I was saying yesterday my favourites are the Zarella Fresh Spud Light potatoes, low in carb, 25% fewer carbs than normal potatoes. Are there those types of products around the world, or is this an Australia thing?
This is really an Australian thing. We try to do it around the world, but Australia is really at the forefront of being very innovative, not just in the products that we eat, but also throughout our industry. Make sure that we're sustainable and efficient.
And how many people, Nigel, are here at this conference?
We have 1,000 delegates from 40 different countries participating in the Congress.
Mm. How's the weather at the moment for potato growing? Is rain good for potatoes?
Rain is always good for potatoes. We need a bit of water to make sure we grow the crops. Oh. But actually, we're sort of in between seasons at the moment here in Australia.
It's good weather for eating potatoes. So
it definitely is good weather for eating potatoes, and it all wraps up today, Nigel, as well. What's the order of business, and is it going to be held in Australia again soon?
It won't be in Australia for some time. The International World Potato Congress moves around the world. Next year, it's actually in 2 years' time. It's in Poland. The program for the Congress now is the delegates are all off on doing tours down to Kangaroo Island, out to the Matolo factory, the Sardi research station, and up to FIVEAA, to the pie group.
And just from a trade point of view, and I guess from an exporting point of view, having an exercise like this in South Australia, is it beneficial from an economic point of view?
Oh, absolutely. Bringing that number of delegates to Adelaide, but also just bringing the industry together. It's a huge opportunity to stock take and see where we're at.
Yeah, great stuff.
What's on the menu, Nigel?
Potatoes, of course.
Baked, sour cream, bacon on top.
Oh, yum. I'm getting hungry. That sounds delicious.
Any way you like. Potatoes are very versatile and very nutritious.
They are. They definitely are.
you.
No, they are regularly on the menu at our place, that's for sure, and Stacey, you as well. Nigel, thank you so much for your time this morning. Good luck today.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the time, guys.
Great stuff. Nigel Crump there, the director of the World Potato Congress. And good to bring something different and unique to South Australia.
Absolutely. It's these types of events happening here that are good for our economy. You know, you've got hundreds of people from around the world in our hotels, eating at our restaurants, eating our potatoes. That's what we want.
That's exactly what we want. Stacey, after 7 o'clock, we're going to be catching up with Josh Peake, and we're going to be talking about shop worker safety. We just talked to the police about that incident yesterday at Arndale. Of course, Marion. Unfortunately, we saw the events at Bondi, so we're going to talk a little bit about that. Plenty of sport. We're going to talk with the Premier, the opposition as well, Sean Fuster. We've got a loaded hour after 7 o'clock. Before that, we'll get to the newsroom with Graham Goodings, all the sport with Jace Kemp.
The passing of someone close places unique stress on family and friends. At this time, Farrell and O'Neill Funerals are here to provide reassurance and peace of mind. Farrell and O'Neill offer creative guidance and advice to tailor a service that best honours your loved one. Whether a large gathering or a small, intimate service, Farrell and O'Neill share their generations of experience in tailoring a unique and meaningful farewell. Proudly SA family owned and operated, because it's personal.
Steinborner Automotive in Gawler, Barossa and Clare has always been well worth the trip, especially with their end of financial year sale on over 500 new, used and demo cars, including a great range of new and demo new-gen Triton in stock now. Plus, they're offering an additional $1,500 trade-in bonus on all trade-ins. Head to Steinborner Mitsubishi in the Barossa and Clare or view the whole range at steinborner.com.au. Steinborner Automotive. It's well worth the trip.
Come on in.
We open our doors to people we trust and care about. And for over 85 years, South Australians have been opening their doors to Rest Haven. In turn, we've been opening doors to an easier, better life at home. From personal care to help with the shopping and social outings, you'll welcome the care that Rest Haven brings.
The Nova Studios are like a playground. Unlike most playgrounds, they get a little messy. Luckily, Corporate Clean always gets them ready for another day of play. It's one of over 200 businesses they clean throughout South Australia. An unclean workplace means more absences and less productivity. And bacteria studies reveal desktops can be just as unhealthy as toilets. Ew. But not in offices cleaned by Corporate Clean. They don't cut corners, they clean them. For a free quote and assessment, go to corporateclean.com.au.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube.
The latest local, national and international news for South Australia. This is 5AA News, always Adelaide.
Showers and 15 degrees today with the 7 o'clock news. Good morning. I'm Graham Goodings.
Make RAA approved windscreen repairer, Complete Windscreens, your insurer repairer of choice. Visit completewindscreens.com.au.
Julian Assange has touched down in remote US territory, the Mariana Islands, where he's due to face court. The 52-year-old is expected to plead guilty to a single felony charge after striking a deal with prosecutors. The agreement means the Australian citizen will be spared further jail time, marking an end to his legal saga which has gone on for more than a decade. Independent journalist and Assange supporter Anthony Lowenstein says the WikiLeaks founder shouldn't have had to take a plea deal at all.
Obviously that was the offer that was put on the table. You agree to this and then we'll get you out. And I understand 100% why he would do that. But the concerning element here is that what Assange was doing 15 or so years ago was what a lot of investigative journalists do every day.
At least 5 people have been shot dead by police in Kenya during protests against planned tax increases. Around 40 people are being treated in hospital after tear gas was thrown at a crowd. 6 youths charged following a disturbance at the Arndale Shopping Centre will front court today. Mel Usher reports.
Police were called to Arndale at Kilkenny yesterday afternoon after reports a group of youths were threatening a man. 2 were allegedly carrying knives at the time. 1 also allegedly threw a rock, hitting a person. The boys, aged 13, 14 and 16, were picked up nearby and later charged. They'll front court today after spending the night in custody. It comes just days after 3 youths were arrested and charged following a fight at Westfield Marion, which was the catalyst for sending the centre into lockdown.
The country's energy market operator has issued a stark warning of the nation's power needs and faltering production capacity. AEMO has found Australia will need to install 16 times its current capacity of batteries and pumped hydro capacity by 2050. As well, wind and solar generation will have to jump 6-fold if the country is to deliver its transition to net zero emissions by 2050. Scammers are expected to take advantage of unsuspecting Australians as many prepare to file their tax returns. Gavin Ord from CPA Australia says unsolicited text messages impersonating the Australian Tax Office are one of the most common types of scams at this time of year. He says these often contain links to fake MyGov web pages set up to steal personal and financial information.
What they're hoping for is that one person out of 10,000 to click on that link and they're off. So I just say everyone just be very sceptical.
The ATO doesn't include links in its texts, making it easier to distinguish between legitimate and illegitimate messages. China's lunar probe has returned from the dark side of the moon with the first samples collected from the previously unexplored zone. The Chang'e 6 has touched down in the desert in Inner Mongolia, marking the end of a 2-month mission. Scientists hope the data will answer questions about how planets are formed. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Colours, custom design, any house, any style. Gliderol Garage Doors. Gliderol.com.au.
And here's Jace Kemp.
Thank you, Graham. The Crows and Port will hit the training track this morning as they prepare for their matches this weekend. The Power faces St Kilda while the Crows take on the Giants at Adelaide Oval. Jake Saligo says the Crows will be looking to change its fortunes in the back half of the season after a disappointing start to 2024.
We had a lot of expectations as players going into the season of where we wanted to finish and how we wanted to play finals and all this stuff. So it is very disappointing as a player's point of view of where we are at the moment. Yeah, we just got to look at this back half of the season and hopefully win a few more games.
A record NRL crowd of more than 90,000 people is expected at the MCG tonight for Game 2 of State of Origin. Queensland coach Billy Slater has dismissed suggestions Reece Walsh will be hesitant after getting knocked out in the series opener.
Oh, that's the first time I've thought about Demons and Reece Walsh. He's been incredible all week. He was incredible in his preparation for Game 1. Started the game really well in Game 1 and I expect no different.
8 Australian golfers, including Greg Chalmers and Stuart Appleby, are confirmed starters for this week's US Seniors Open Championship. And finally, at the Euros, Slovenia is through to the knockout stages of the tournament for the first time after holding on in a goalless draw to England. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thanks, Jace. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Lynn Andrews Real Estate, experts in commercial and residential property management. lynnandrews.com.au.
Morning there at Wingfield. A crash to look out for today. It's on the north-south motorway near Cormac Road. Really heavy delays inbound back to the Salisbury Highway at the moment. Waterloo Corner reports of a car fire on Port Wakefield Road near Old Port Wakefield Road. Slow going for works at Tea Tree Gully, North East Road near Walter Street, and slow going south road at Glandore, bitumen ripped up and speeds at 40. Got a camera this morning, Fairfield Road at Elizabeth Grove. This end of financial year at 40 weeks, save up to 50% off, plus a further 20% off selected floor stock this week only. Ends Sunday. Terms, conditions and exclusions apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
And now the 5AA forecast.
See any issue firsthand with AutoCam. Real-time video, direct to you from your Automasters technician.
15 with showers today, tomorrow a shower to 17, Friday a shower to 18, and Saturday showers and 16 degrees. Currently in Adelaide it's 9. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Streaming live via the 5AA Player app on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. This is 5AA, always Adelaide.
Purchase any Hyundai until June 30 for 3 years free scheduled servicing. T's and C's apply at participating Hyundai dealers.
5AA Winter Breakfast. Stacey Lee and Tom Wren.
7:07 on 5AA Breakfast. Stacey, Lee and Tom Wren through until 9 o'clock, and for the rest of the week, Stacey, we've been following with great interest Julian Assange and his extradition to Australia and everything that's happening, or the fact that he's coming over here, and there's some breaking news that we can bring everyone up to date with this morning.
Yeah, Julian Assange's plane has now landed in the US territory of Saipan. It's an American territory of the North Mariana Islands. He will, now that he's there, he will face court. It's expected he will plead guilty, and he, after the deal that he's done with the US Justice Department, and then after that he will be able to return home to Australia. So this is something that the federal government has been involved in sorting out and getting the deal done with the US government on this, and this morning Richard Marles has spoken about it.
Well, look, I shouldn't comment on it. I mean, he is expected to be in a US court this morning in Saipan, and it'll be a matter for the court as to how that proceeds. I think the point that I would make is that as an Australian citizen, we've been advocating on behalf of Julian Assange, as we would on behalf of all Australian citizens who are in these circumstances around the world for many years now, in both the United Kingdom and the United States. And whatever one's view is of what Julian Assange did, this is obviously a matter which has been going on for a very long period of time. And we look forward to its resolution.
So that was the Deputy Prime Minister there, Richard Marles, talking about the situation.
12 years.
It's a long time.
It is a long time. And so, as I say, this was after a deal was done with the US government, and Democratic Senator in the US, Jack Reed, has also spoken about the matter today.
He violated the laws of the United States. Again, I think his unqualified plea of guilty should settle this matter. When he faced real trial, there were no adequate defenses that he could find, and he simply admitted, yes, I'm guilty. He undermined the security of the United States. He did it systematically. He did it for his own gratification, self-promotion, etc. And that guilty plea speaks volumes.
Yeah, a lot of upset people in high places in the United States for a long time, weren't they? Donald Trump was playing hardball for a long time when he was the then president of the United States. But, yeah, there has been a development, over the last few weeks or so, and it continues to be a big story though, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, and so just to reiterate that breaking news this morning, Julian Assange's plane has now landed in the American territory of the North Mariana Islands in Saipan. He will face court there, and then he's expected to return home, could be as soon as this week, after that guilty plea is entered.
And if we get any more audio, we'll bring that to you on 5AA Breakfast this morning. For now though, we're going to be talking about shop worker safety, Stacey, because it's been in the headlines a lot on Monday, dominated our program. We were talking about the events of Sunday afternoon at the Marion Shopping Centre when we were effectively locked down for several hours, and we had some amazing first-hand accounts of what people went through. And then again yesterday at Arndale, we had an incident involving a trio of teens, who were brandishing knives allegedly.
Well, yes, 6 of them, 13-year-old, 5 14-year-olds and a 16-year-old were charged. Police say they allegedly had knives on them, and there's a group of them, and they were threatening a man. So they've been arrested. They'll face court today. But why are these sorts of incidents happening at shopping centres, and what does it mean for workers? Because I don't know about you, Tommy, but one of the first jobs I got was in retail. My first ever job was at Hungry Jack's, and then after that I worked at a number of different stores in shopping centres.
And you just don't expect to, you just expect to rock up to work, have to deal with what you have to deal with. I was always hospitality, but similar thing, but not in shopping centres, but you're working with people.
Yeah.
And you just assume that everything's going to be okay.
Yeah.
You don't even think about worker safety, or at least I didn't when I started out working in that kind of work.
No, I mean, yeah, but things have certainly changed. And Josh Peake is the secretary of the Shoppies Union, the SDA, and joins you this morning. Good morning, Josh Peake.
Good morning, Tom. Good morning, Stacey. Thanks for having me.
Have you noticed that? Is it getting worse, or are we just getting grumpier in our old age?
Oh, look, we view that it is getting worse. I mean, I think it's fair to say that young people loitering and hanging out in shopping centres is not a new thing. That's happened for a very long time, and indeed fights between young people in shopping centres is also not a new thing. But it is terrifying the rate at which it's occurring, and it's also terrifying to see these weapons being brandished, and the consequences obviously were really significant on Sunday in terms of the lockdown of the entire centre, but it's also incredibly dangerous. It's dangerous for those involved. It's dangerous for the workers around them. And, we think there is more that needs to be done. We are, and we're pleased that the government has engaged on a retail crime roundtable with us to understand what are the key issues facing our sector and what more can be done, not just by the police and by the government, but also by the shopping centres themselves to take stronger action to make these places safer, because public safety in our major shopping centres, whether it's Westfield or other suburban shopping centres or Rundle Mall, is incredibly important. They're places that the public gather, and we need to make sure they're safe places to work. We need to make sure they're safe places to shop.
Yeah, once you lose that trust and people don't feel safe, Josh, then the whole thing can collapse pretty quickly, can't it? What are some of the measures that you think could be proposed to ensure that safety for the workers and for those that are roaming through and doing their shopping?
Well, one of the key things we do want to have a really good look at is the training and powers of security guards.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things we hear far too often from our members is they feel that even when there are security guards present, that lots of people think that security guards can't actually do anything. And the reason why that's the case is it often relates to the grading or the training of that security guard. So security guards can have lots of power. They also have power to detain people that are doing the wrong thing if they're trained appropriately. And we think moving from a standard where we sort of see in major shopping centres a grade 2 or grade 3 style security guards to grade 4 and grade 5 will make a really big difference, because it will mean that you'll have security guards on premises with proper powers to take action against people doing the wrong thing. The second thing we really think needs to occur is, what can we do about banning people from this private property, essentially, who continue to come back and continue to do the wrong thing?
Yeah.
Our trespass laws in South Australia are incredibly weak. Criminal trespass only lasts for 24 hours. If someone does the wrong thing and they're told to leave, they can come back 24 hours and 1 minute later, and that's not an offence. So we think retail banning orders, tougher trespass laws, some kind of rules in place to ensure that people who are doing the wrong thing, who are loitering, can be banned by the private operators and told you're not allowed to come back. And that is also connected to people who are charged to make sure that police bail is being used effectively, and that bail conditions include banning on the return to shops or to shopping centres where this ridiculous behaviour is occurring.
Playing devil's advocate here, Josh Peake, would a long-term ban for a 13, 14, 16-year-old actually be a viable option? Like, I think on the face of it, if you're brandishing a knife and if you're sending a shopping centre into lockdown for 2 hours, then yeah, the thought would be, yep, something needs to happen and you probably shouldn't be allowed back in that shopping centre for a while. But do you really want to be turning 40 and knowing I can't go into Marion Shopping Centre because of something stupid, absolutely stupid I did when I was 15?
Yeah, that's right. Look, I certainly don't think we would have bans that would be going that long. The sort of change we've seen in the Northern Territory and the ACT to do this, see the bans going to about 12 months,
yep.
Which we think is appropriate, and they can be reviewed past that point. But the other point you raised, Stacey, is a really important one, and that is, as a society, what are we doing to ensure that young people aren't behaving this way in the first place? And they're really far bigger questions about how we can make sure that we've got safe and supportive communities for our young people. But that sort of change takes a lot longer time. What we're really interested in right now is what measures can be put in place to keep workers in the community safe from this violent behaviour today.
And Josh, I imagine you've been getting a fair bit of feedback from workers, after what happened on Sunday at Marion and again at Arndale yesterday.
That's right. I mean, I think we certainly don't criticise the lockdown decision. What we are frustrated about, I think, is, and we've put out a survey to our members. We've had lots of responses from this, and that is overwhelming feedback is that it was customers and other staff that were originally raising the alarm, and that caused a lot of the confusion, that the PA and the alarm system at Marion was muffled and hard to understand. That didn't reach into lots of the parts of the shopping centre. So once we conclude that, we're going to be engaging with Safe Work SA and Westfield to say what went wrong here. How can we make sure that if there is a really significant incident, there's appropriate alarm and PA announcements so that everyone in the shopping centre can hear it, get really clear, easy to understand information. And then, of course, in many cases, there was 2 hours or more where people were, in some cases, hiding in shops with no information coming over that speaker, or they couldn't hear it. So we think that PA and alarm warning system certainly was far from what is desired in such a serious and important piece of infrastructure in this state. And we do think something needs to be done to address that.
And just briefly, you mentioned at the starting of this interview that there's a meeting organised, a roundtable of some sort. When is that?
So we've had our first meeting. The government has now set up a task force which is meeting regularly to look at the fact that there's been a spike in retail crime over the last few years. I think it's up something like 20 or 30% this year alone. So we're continuing to meet, not just us, the government, but also all of the major retailers, the Shopping Centre Council and the National Retailers Association, to really see if we can nut out some tangible solutions to this really significant problem.
Well, it's been an issue that's been thrust into the headlines in many ways for the wrong reasons in the last week or so. But Josh, we really appreciate you coming on this morning and just sharing some of the thoughts and insights from, those that are at the coalface and the ones that we need to be protecting. So thanks so much for coming on 5AA Breakfast.
Thanks so much for having me. Thanks, guys.
Great stuff. Josh Peake there.
Yeah, the Secretary of the Shoppies Union. Getting a few texts on this. 0448081395 is the number for the Duttons text line. Rob says, where are the truancy officers from the Education Department? Shouldn't they now be involved? Why do these kids and their parents get a pass for them running around like unregistered dogs? Okay, well, maybe took a bit far in there, Rob, but yep, I see what you mean. Helen says, morning, just bloody lock them up for a month or two. And you know what, I don't mind that idea. I reckon, maybe not in an adults men's prison. We're not talking Yatla here, but
there need to be some consequences that are meaningful.
That would be enough to scare you out of doing that again.
Impactful, yeah. Something that's a bit tougher.
I don't know if that's controversial, but anyway.
Keep those coming. Don't let the Duttons end of financial year deals pass you by. Find your new car at duttons.com.au 044808 1395 as we head out to the roads and see what's going on there. All thanks to the new McSmart meal from Macca's. 2 burgers, small fries and a small soft drink, just $6.95. T's and C's apply.
Thanks, Tom. At Waterloo Corner, a car fire on Port Wakefield Road near Old Port Wakefield Road. Wingfield, a crash on the north-south motorway near Cormac Road with delays inbound. Dry Creek, multi-car smash on the Salisbury Highway inbound near the Wingfield interchange. And in the Hills, Gorge Road will be closed from 9 a.m. this morning between Playford Bridge and Torrens Hill Road due to the weather and the potential of rock slides. Camera this morning, West Street at Ascot Park. This June, Bob Jane T-Marts have great buy 3, get 1 free plus instant cashback deals with 15 stores located in Adelaide. They'll look after you. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
5AA Mornings with Matthew Pantelis.
A tram proposal for North Adelaide. The Adelaide City Council have called for the tram to be extended from Elder Park into O'Connell Street, and as part of that, get this, they want to narrow West Terrace. The Adelaide City Council thinks it's too wide, apparently.
Matthew Pantelis.
West Terrace is too wide. Tell that to the tens of thousands of people who drive on it every day.
Weekday mornings from 9 on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Save on winter dinners at Coles. With Campbell's Real Stock 1 litre now half price at just $2.25. Stock up at Coles for just $2.25. That's great value hands down at Coles. Offer ends Tuesday.
Ignition for Men. Adelaide's home of luxury menswear offer an impeccable range of suits by leading Italian brands, including tailor-made wedding packages for the groom and groomsmen. Order 3 tailor-made suits and pay just $799 for each. Order 4 or more for just $749 each. Phenomenal value for a quality tailor-made suit. See Ignition for Men for tailor-made wedding packages. 54 Paynham Road, Stepney. ignitionformen.com.au. T's and C's apply.
The business sector has had incredible advances in AI.
One Solution can show you how AI can streamline your business, introducing efficiencies you never thought possible. You'll save money and time, unlock new growth avenues, and you'll be keeping up with the rest of the business community. With AI and One Solution, you can innovate, optimize, and excel across every facet of your business. One Solution will show you how. onesolution.net.au, a Platinum Telstra partner.
Here's 2 reasons to rush into Formula Honda. 1. Enjoy reduced drive-away prices on select grades for the Honda ZR-V and CR-V only while stocks last. 2. Get a bonus 8 years warranty and 8 years roadside assist on select grades until the end of this financial year. Hurry into Formula Honda while stocks and savings last. Find us at Glen Osmond Road, Glen Osmond or North East Road, Modbury. T's and C's apply.
For those whose pool is the main feature of their yard, Walco offer a special mesh cover to keep debris and leaves out while making your pool area look stunning all through winter. Join the great cover-up and ask Walco about their stylish new mesh pool covers. Walco.com.au.
Go Vita, your local health food shops. Over 30 years health and wellness experience and over 300 natural health practitioners specialising in you.
Hi, I'm Wayne from Go Vita Mount Barker. We've got Fusion Astra 8 60 tablets, not $49.95, just $29.95. Fusion Astra 8 contains astragalus and reishi mushrooms. Always read the label and follow directions for use.
Go Vita, Colonnades, Fairview Green, Marion, Mount Barker, Monopara, Semaphore and Tanunda.
Know the news with Adelaide's 7 News. Don't miss Adelaide's leading news hour tonight at 6 o'clock.
Purchase any Hyundai until June 30 for 3 years free scheduled servicing. T's and C's apply at participating Hyundai dealers.
5AA Winter Breakfast. Stacey Lee and Tom Wren.
Coming up to 7:24 here on 5AA Breakfast, it is Stacey Lee and Tom Wren with you. 8.8 degrees, heading for a top of just 15 today. And showers forecast again, anywhere from 5 to 15 millimetres of rain.
Little bit of breaking news on your roads at the moment. There's a car crash. We've been made aware of a collision on the Salisbury Highway at Wingfield. It's causing delays westbound and city-bound at the north-south motorway off-ramp. So that's city-bound heading into peak hour. So if you are on the Salisbury Highway at Wingfield, that is why there are the delays. Please leave a bit of extra time. And the Transport Department has also given some warning that Gorge Road will be closed between the Playford Bridge and Torrens Hill Road from 9 a.m. today for 24 hours. That's due to an increased risk in rock falls because of the rain.
Wow.
They're saying because of severe weather, but I wouldn't call this weather severe. It's just rainy.
Yeah.
This is winter weather.
Yeah, that seems strange, doesn't it? Those loose impediments just coming free, maybe a little bit scary.
So the road will be reassessed tomorrow morning. But yeah, from 9 a.m, that area of Gorge Road between Playford Bridge and Torrens Hill Road will be closed due to risk of rockfalls.
So a bit going on there. A bit going on as well with the sports show, as we know, this week with Treaders and Rowie. But one of the brand new additions that we've got for the rest of the season, and he's been perhaps one of the shining lights for the Crows this season, is Jake Saligo. He's been sensational. He'd be right up there in their best and fairest, playing some great footy. There's a lot of negative press that comes out about the Crows and their drafting, etc. But they should get some credit for the fact they got him, I think, in the 30s as a selection, and he's been sensational. Looks like he's going to be a 200-game player. He's just had a sensational year so far. He was on the sports show last night having a chat about his role and how things are going with the Crows.
Well, Jake, you're having an incredibly great year. I'm not going to call it a breakout year. You've been played in the position you were recruited in the midfield. How have you enjoyed it?
Yeah, absolutely loving it. It's I did get drafted as a midfielder, so it's nice to be in there at the moment with the likes of Lairdy and Dawson. And just learning off these sort of guys is really helping me to develop my game, and I've still got lots to do in terms of midfield craft, but yeah, just trying to develop that's really helping me.
How important in that midfield mix is it to have those senior guys?
Oh, very important. Just like on game day when it's really loud and you can't really hear much, the pressure's on, you just need these guys to lead you, and you can help them as well by leading them, but have a bit of an older crew sometimes does definitely help get you set up.
So a big game for the Crows, as we know, on Saturday night against GWS at home. I think I'm calling that one. Looking forward to it. The Crows need to bounce back. They've just had the bye, but it's been a tough few weeks for them. And then, of course, on Sunday, we've got Port Adelaide playing away against St Kilda. We'll be calling all of that action here on 5AA as well. So a couple of big games coming up this weekend.
Yeah.
And the other thing too, Stacey, is tonight.
Big one tonight as well. The
You gonna
State
be
of
watching?
Origin. I'll be watching. I love watching my Origin, but last this is game 2. Game 1 was super disappointing as a New South Wales fan.
Well, Suwali was sent off, I think, in the first 10 minutes. So they played the whole game with only 12 men as opposed to 13. If you're doing it for longer than 10 minutes, you're just done.
I think we turned it off at half-time because I don't want to see
no
this
chance.
sort of joke.
You just, in such a physical game, you can't play with a man down for that long.
No, so hopefully this is a bit more of a fairer match, although, I mean, I shouldn't say fair. He deserved to be sent off.
For taking out Reece Walsh.
Yes.
So that will be
I'm
big.
looking forward to that.
Pembo would love you talking about State of Origin. Will not so much. Not a big State of Origin fan.
I'm a huge Origin girl.
I enjoy it.
I actually miss not having it this year. We had the Origin game here last year, and my dad came over from Sydney, and we went along to it, and it was a really great night out. So, yeah, I mean, we've got a lot of other sport this year, but I wish we had the Origin again.
There's not much I'm jealous of with rugby league. I appreciate the sport, but that's the one thing they do so well is State of Origin. I wish we had that, and I get it's tricky. How do you do it? And then, is it WA, Victoria, South Australia? You got competing states, all of that, but. Goodness, it was back in the day, the 80s and 90s, when I was at my youngest and most impressionable. I just loved it. Sensational.
I've been saying for ages, we need the Rams back.
Yeah,
Bring back the Rams. Come on, Rams.
Let's have a short break. We'll head across to the newsroom. Graham Goodings and Jace Kemp ready to go.
Guessing your pick from a deck of cards is tricky. Awkward social situations, also tricky. Finding the perfect Volkswagen? Easy at Mawson Leaks Volkswagen's end of financial year sale. You can get first pick on a massive range of new and demo Volkswagens available for delivery right now. Loads of colours, loads of options, on-site finance and next day servicing. Easy, just get in before June 30. Mawson Leaks Volkswagen, just a short drive from the city. 5AA's Tech Talk with your host, Adelaide Tech Guy Richard Pascoe, thanks to Harvey Norman Computers.
You don't need to be a tech expert to know that technology is now part of everything we do. AI, or artificial intelligence, is the next big game changer. It doesn't just make things easier or predict what's next. It can truly transform your daily life. It handles the little things so you can focus on what really matters. You'll find plenty of AI inside the latest Microsoft Surface Pro. It's the fastest and smartest Surface Pro ever, thanks to their AI called Copilot. The Surface Pro features a 13-inch touchscreen, ample memory, all-day battery life, seamless graphics, and AI-enhanced capabilities to supercharge your workflow. Experience the best combination of Copilot and PC with the Surface Pro. Prices start from $1,899 at Harvey Norman.
Check out this great offer at a Harvey Norman store near you.
Now, Stacey, you and I both love our seafood.
Oh, yeah.
And Samtas Seafoods invite you to experience Adelaide's finest seafood at unbeatable prices. Enjoy South Australian King George whiting fillets from $53.99 per kilo and South Australian baby calamari, just $19.99 a kilo.
Oh, but that's not all. Their unbeatable deal, 4 kilos of snap frozen seafood favourites for just $60. You can mix and match with fillets of flathead, dory, emperor, barramundi, portions of Tasmanian ocean trout, and one of my favourites, Atlantic salmon.
Oh, yum.
1 kilo packs, an amazing offer, 4 kilos for just $60. I mean,
how good is that? And then on top, Stace, there's the crumb prawns, salt and pepper squid, Atlantic salmon cutlets, and even barramundi spring rolls are all included in the 4 kilos for $60. That deal is unreal. Mix and match, excellent value, so make sure you don't miss out.
well, we were talking about ordering the lobster thermidor when you go out with your boss. So if they go to Samtas, it wouldn't be that expensive anyway. You can choose from a huge variety of affordable premium seafood. And special alert, Samtas is continuing with their lowest king prawn prices in years. SA king prawns start from just $13.99 a kilo.
Samtas Seafoods, Adelaide's quality seafood specialist, factory direct and open 7 days. Samtas Seafoods, where value meets quality, 201 Richmond Road at Richmond.
Hey Gary, if I find my favourite power tool cheaper down the road, Toolkit Depot will beat it?
Yep, they'll beat any competitor's price.
Can't beat that.
Nope.
Seen it cheaper? We'll beat it. That's our price beat promise. T's and C's apply. Toolkit Depot. Everything you need to get the job done.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Showers and 15 today with the 7:30 news. I'm Graham Goodings.
Chipped windscreen? RAA approved repairer Complete Windscreens repairs it from just $99. Find the big red koala.
The plane carrying Julian Assange has touched down in the remote US territory of the Mariana Islands. After 12 years stuck in legal limbo, including 5 in a London prison, the WikiLeaks founder will face court in the Pacific Archipelago to finalise his plea deal with the US Justice Department. In exchange, he'll be allowed to return home. The 52-year-old's brother, Gabriel Shipton, says it's a massive relief.
So happy that he'll be reunited with his family in Australia, and all credit to the Australian government who have been advocating for him diplomatically, as well as the Australian people who have been fighting for Julian's freedom alongside us.
SafeWork SA has found the Royal Adelaide Hospital has violated health and safety laws and has given the hospital until July 9 to correct the problems. The RAH has been told to fix issues that are causing psychological risks to clinicians at the overstressed emergency department or face a fine of up to $250,000. A woman has been reported for drink driving after hitting a road barrier at Morford Vale last night. It happened at the intersection of Panalatinga and Wheatsheaf Roads. Senior Constable David Backer says the Holden station wagon was badly damaged.
Police spoke with the driver of the vehicle, a 41-year-old woman from Minorlunga Downs, and she submitted to a breath test returning a positive result of 0.165, more than 3 times the legal limit. So she's been issued with a 12-month instant loss of licence, and she's been reported for drink driving and drive without due care.
The energy market operator is warning that if Australia doesn't quickly establish more renewable energy sources, we'll be risking blackouts and soaring household bills by the 2030s. Gabriel Hodson reports.
The Australian energy market operator has effectively rejected nuclear power, and the Financial Review is reporting that it instead wants $3.4 billion for high voltage transmission lines. AEMO is warning that not enough green electricity will be flowing through the grid by the time the last coal power station is predicted to close, somewhere between 2035 and 2038. At the moment, coal accounts for about a third of Australia's generation capacity. AEMO believes wind power will dominate, but will need to more than double our current capacity. It also says we'll need another 86 gigawatts of rooftop solar. At the moment, we've got just 18.
6 teenagers have spent the night in custody over an incident at the Arndale shopping centre. Police were called to Kilkenny yesterday afternoon after reports a group of young people were threatening a man. 2 were allegedly carrying knives at the time. The group, aged 13, 14 and 16, will face court today. It comes just days after 3 young men were charged following a fight at Westfield Marion, which saw the centre placed in lockdown. It's been 50 years since the first barcode was scanned. A packet of Wrigley's Juicy Fruit Gum was the first to have a barcode, setting in motion a global system which now sees more than 10 billion barcodes scanned every day. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Gliderol Garage Doors, adding strength, style and safety to your home. Gliderol.com.au.
And here's Jace Kemp.
Thank you, Graham. The Crows will train at Adelaide Oval this morning as they prepare to take on the Giants. Taylor Walker will have a chance to prove his fitness after battling with a sore back. Lockie Scholl says the former skipper is likely to return this weekend.
So having back potentially this week will be a huge boost. We're looking forward to getting back into a post-bye.
Still on footy, the AFL Tribunal has cleared Patrick Dangerfield to play Essendon on Saturday night. The Geelong veteran successfully arguing that pinning Sam Walsh's arms was the safest way to tackle the Carlton midfielder. Lee Matthews has told Wide World of Sports tackles remain a grey area in the game.
You kind of look at it now and it should be fairly simple to say, oh yeah, that's suspendable. No, it's not. It's like the holding the ball rule at the moment. I mean, I just reckon they all look fairly similar, and then occasionally someone will get pinged for holding the ball.
Adelaide United forward Moussa Touré will leave the club after signing with French side Clermont Foot 63. And finally, Frank Duckworth, one of the pioneers of the Duckworth-Lewis system to determine cricket results in rain-affected matches, has died aged 84. And that's the 5AA Sport.
And now checking 5AA traffic.
Lynn Andrews Real Estate, experts in commercial and residential property management. lynnandrews.com.au.
At Waterloo Corner, a car fire on Port Wakefield Road near Old Port Wakefield Road. Wingfield, a crash to the north-south motorway near Cormac Road. And a multi-car collision at Dry Creek. It's on the Salisbury Highway inbound near the Wingfield interchange. Pretty solid delays there. In the Hills, Gorge Road will be closed from 9 a.m. this morning between Playford Bridge and Torrens Hill Road due to the weather and the potential of rock slides. And got a camera doors road at Ascot Park. Quitting smoking is hard, but so is heart disease, emphysema and mouth cancer. Choose your hard and choose to give up for good. Visit health.gov.au/give up for good. This message is brought to you by the Australian Government, Canberra. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
And now the 5AA forecast.
See any issue firsthand with AutoCam. Real-time video, direct to you from your Automasters technician.
15 with showers today, tomorrow a shower to 17, Friday a shower to 18, and Saturday 16 with showers. Currently it's 9. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Purchase any Hyundai until June 30 for 3 years free scheduled servicing. T's and C's apply at participating Hyundai dealers.
5AA Winter Breakfast. Stacey Lee and Tom Wren.
And it's 23 minutes to 8 o'clock here on 5AA Breakfast. It is Wednesday the 26th of June. Stacey Lee and Tom Wren with you through until 9 o'clock this morning.
Yeah, and we've been bringing you updates this morning on the Julian Assange situation. He has now landed in the American territory of the North Mariana Islands in Saipan. Watching the Vision on Sky News, he has got off the plane and he looks quite put together, Tom. I don't know what I was expecting, but, you know, he's been 12 years in legal limbo. He's been in a London prison for 5 years. He's looks good. He's wearing a suit. His hair's all done. He looks very put together, as I say, for someone who's just travelled from London over to Saipan. He's also walked from a car into the building at the airport with Kevin Rudd by his side, the Australian ambassador to the US, and both
Former Prime Minister, of course.
PM, yeah. It looks like his wife was with him as well, so he will now head to court in Saipan, and he's expected to plead guilty to one single charge of felony to the US authorities, and then potentially later this week arrive back in Australia. So we'll keep bringing you updates throughout the morning as they happen.
It's time to go around the courts with Sean Fuster on 5AA Breakfast.
It is that time of the week where we catch up with our resident legal expert, and he's got his own show as well. Podcast does a brilliant job, Sean Fuster. It is 21 minutes to 8 o'clock. He is the chief court reporter at The Advertiser. Sean, good morning to you.
Morning, Tom. How you doing?
Really well, thank you. Tell us, the bicycle bandit has been big in the headlines. What's the very latest? He's now in hospital, I believe.
That's right. Our understanding is that last night he was transferred to a hospice-style facility, a palliative care-style facility near the Flinders Medical Centre. That was foreshadowed very early on when his counsel asked for his matter to be expedited, saying that he wanted to access his voluntary assisted dying, but had agreed on reflection not to use it until after he was sentenced. You might remember The Advertiser then exclusively revealed that one of the reasons that reflection might have happened was because of the plea bargain he signed with prosecutors, which said that his family got to keep his entire $1.5 million estate, but only if he stayed alive long enough to be sentenced. Now that's done, now that he got his 35-year prison term, it looks like by calculations that one of the victims did last night, he spent a total of about 14 days serving that sentence, if you count the remand period when he was not on bail, way back when he was eating his famous chocolate cake in the Adelaide Remand Centre. And that's about the amount of time he will have served if indeed the VAD does go ahead, assuming it didn't go ahead during the night.
Okay, well, will we find out when it's happened, Sean? I mean,
really vexed question, Stacey. We've been trying to find out for a while now. Now, SA Health say that they can't answer any questions to do with VAD, not only because it's a privacy issue, but because it actually is in state law that if you have power over or involvement in the VAD process, you are legally not allowed to talk about it. It's actually a full-blown piece of legislation that says that. The Corrections Department can't talk about it because, as they've been saying from the get-go, this isn't their decision. SA Health can overrule them when it comes to prisoners and VAD. They just have to do what SA Health tell them. So you've got one government department that literally has no control over this, and another that is statute-bound not to say anything about it. And in the ordinary course, you can understand exactly why that's necessary, why people have and deserve their privacy when it comes to their final moments. This is another one of those moments where the VAD legislation and criminal justice form a Venn diagram where they don't really overlap properly. This is something that nobody ever foresaw, should have foreseen, but didn't think about when the VAD laws were drafted. And now we're in this situation where, well, we've had the grand mal example of just how badly those pieces of legislation can clash with one another. what is Chris Picton and the state government going to do from here to make sure that we don't end up in this situation again?
We're talking to Chief Court Reporter from The Advertiser, Sean Fuster. Sean, this week alone we've had 9 teenagers who've been charged with a fray and faced the youth court. Now, I did legal studies in Year 12, but clearly wasn't paying attention. What is a fray, and how does it work in the youth court, and what's the process now for those teenagers?
Well, Tommy, you're fine because a fray didn't exist as an offence back then when you and I were riding our brontosauruses to school and catching the pterodactyl home, so that's fine. I know Stacey's a bit younger than us, so it might have been there when she was there. But look, the simplest way that I can think of to explain a fray is with a little rhymish type thing, which is if it makes you afraid, then it's a fray. The idea is that if an assault occurs in front of you, and you as a reasonably hardy and tolerant person are afraid for your own life by the actions that take place in front of you, then the person committing the violence can also be charged with a fray. Right. So if you and Stace have a punch-up in the studio right now, and Lucy's out there in the booth going, "No, they can sort it out," that's just assault. But if she's worried it's going to spill out into the studio and hurt her as well, that turns it into an affray.
Oh, okay.
Well, she's got nothing to worry about. Yeah. We just take care of it ourselves.
Yeah, Stacey's got me. Stacey's got me covered, I reckon.
Well, look, I didn't want to say, but we all know that's the truth.
No, that's well explained, Sean. As always, love your work. You're doing a brilliant job, and look forward to catching up with you again next week.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Sean. That's Sean Fuster, Chief Court Reporter with The Advertiser, and of course you can hear him on 5AA as well.
Just Lawful, he does a brilliant job with Dan and Uzzo. They do an outstanding job with their show each and every week too. Let's check out what's going on with the traffic, all thanks to the new McSmart meal from Macca's. 2 burgers, small fries and a small soft drink. Just $6.95. T's and C's apply.
Morning there at Waterloo Corner, a car fire on Port Wakefield Road near Old Port Wakefield Road. Dry Creek, a multi-car smash on the Salisbury Highway inbound near the Wingfield interchange. In the Hills, Gorge Road will be closed from 9am this morning between Playford Bridge and Torrens Hill Road due to the weather and potential of rock slides, and cameras Alawina Avenue, Mitchell Park and West Street at Ascot Park. Fill up with Shell V-Power 98, the premium fuel designed to deliver greater efficiency and improve performance. It's a decision you can feel good about. Details online. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Fresh Front. It's like renovating the outside of your home without the renovation. Fresh Front is Adelaide's #1 rated pressure cleaning company, making tired homes and businesses look new again. It's the proven and most cost-effective way to make a huge change in the appearance of your property, including pavers, driveways, retaining walls, roofs, even windows. Getting set for sale, cleaning up for a celebration, or home maintenance. Freshfront.com.au. Looks like new.
Need a forklift? Don't just get a forklift, get a Toyota forklift. Toyota is the world's #1 forklift brand with a great range of pallet jacks, walkie stackers and reach forklifts right up to their leading Toyota counterbalance forklifts. Legendary reliability and safety with cleaner, greener electric options. Toyota can tailor the right forklift solution for you. It's all part of the Toyota Forklift Advantage. For more, visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Get a Toyota forklift.
Now, as we take a look outside, Stacey, you can see it's hardly board shorts and mojitos weather, but at Adelaide Outdoor Kitchens, they're taking orders right now because before we know it, summer will be here. So now's the time they start to book out. But there's still time to lock in a consultation about your outdoor entertaining needs, from a custom concrete bench to a full outdoor kitchen with appliances.
That's a really good point. You want to get in early you make sure you can have it ready for summer, for Christmas potentially. And if you act now, you'll have your Adelaide Outdoor Kitchen ready before mojitos are back on the menu. Although they never really leave the menu at my house. But anyway, you don't want to leave it too late. Otherwise, you'll end up trying to light your old barbie in a gale or try to sizzle up your snags in the rain.
So don't turn your barbecues into barbecues. Book a chat now.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Did you like that?
Yeah, barbecues.
Yeah, little
good
play on
work.
words. That was. I thought you'd like that.
I like that.
Book a chat now. Hurry though, time is limited. Head to the website adelaideoutdoorkitchens.com.au and do it today.
Over 60,000 Adelaide homes have said yes to saving money on their energy bills with Yes, your energy saving solutions. What's keeping you? Did you know that you might be eligible for a rebate on a new appliance like a dryer or fridge? You might even qualify for a purchase you've already made. Just visit the Yes website for a list of appliances and the size of the cashback available. For T's and C's on this unbeatable offer from your energy saving solutions, go to yes.net.au. That's yes.net.au.
If you need to fix your pipes, call Precise. Call Precise. If your toilet's blocking up, call Precise. Call Precise. If your lights aren't turning on, or your hot water is gone, or a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Precise.
Precise Plumbing and Electrical. Call 1300 700 200. That's 1300 700 200. For fixed price services, call Precise.
For a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Call Precise.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube. Purchase any Hyundai until June 30 for 3 years free scheduled servicing. T's and C's apply at participating Hyundai dealers.
5AA Winter Breakfast. Stacey Lee and Tom Wren.
And it is coming up to 12 minutes to 8 o'clock on 5AA Breakfast, Wednesday the 26th of June. And Stacey, we've got a very special guest in the studio this morning. A big story has happened in the last 24 hours or so.
Yeah, the Premier Peter Malinauskas joins us in the studio after revealing the state's housing roadmap yesterday. One of the big issues that we've been talking about for some time is the connection of water and sewage to new housing developments in the state. We knew this was an issue and knew it was going to cost a lot of money, so the pricing of it was released yesterday, and it means your water bills will increase by around $85 a year, depending on where you live and the value of your property and how much water you use, to try and pay for the $1.5 billion needed to connect these services to new houses. Premier Peter Malinauskas is in the studio. Good morning, Premier.
Morning, Stacey. Good morning, Rennie.
So you've split the cost of this three ways. One, to SA water bill payers, homes and businesses. One, the state government is going to fund, and the third way is developers.
Yes.
The money that the state government's going to pay,
yes.
Where are you getting that? Extra borrowing, and was it budgeted for? Or
yes, that's correct. So there's $440 million contribution from the state government through the budget, and that was allocated in this year's state budget that we handed down just a couple of weeks ago. So that's in the numbers already. It was there within a contingency. We made clear on budget day that we were going to be announcing the housing roadmap in a fortnight's time, and that contribution has been sitting there pending yesterday's announcement.
And now I know you've said it's going to be split three ways between those three groups, but,
yes.
But to me that means South Australians will be paying twice, because we're paying for this extra money, and we're paying in our water bills, and some South Australians will be paying 3 times if they're buying a new house from these developers, if that cost is then onset and passed on to the home buyers.
Yeah, the last part it's a perfectly legitimate question. So the last part, the developer contribution, developers pay now. So what happens is if Stacey Lee has got a development in the southern suburbs of Adelaide, and say there's 40 allotments on there, you have to pay SA Water an augmentation charge to recalibrate the water infrastructure around your development to be able to connect it. And those costs are, if we did nothing, if we didn't invest this $1.5 billion, you would be wearing the entirety of the costs of that augmentation in real terms, which means you'd be looking at somewhere between $100,000 or potentially over $200,000 per allotment to connect your water connection. Now, what that would do is overnight, instantaneously, make your development completely unfeasible, and it stops. And that's what's happening now. So the reason why, developers are paying anyway, and that would be reflected in people's house prices. So where we've seen not a small, but a completely unsustainable escalation in house prices and in turn rents for renters, is because we are just not getting supply into the system. So we've got to get those those charges to a developer in line with what can reasonably be paid to not make a project uneconomic, and then simply get the water connected. Now, in terms of who pays, this is something that we have really had a lot of discussion within the government over now for some time. The truth is, people are paying already, and there's a whole lot of data on the public record, but the best example, I think, if you're a renter in South Australia, your rents have gone up. This is the average rent, so it obviously depends on what you're renting. But the average rent in South Australia has gone up $180 per week, just over the course of the last 4 years.
Wow.
So $1.50 per week contribution through your water bill towards infrastructure is all about trying to get that escalation down. And there's a lot of silver bullets out there.
You've got to get rental prices down.
No, we've got to get supply. We've got to get housing supply into the system, because if we don't get housing supply into the system, demand will continue to outweigh supply, and we'll see those numbers continue to escalate. Look, one of the reasons why house price growth has been so strong in South Australia is because our economy is performing better than the rest of the country, which is a good thing. But that's not being realised to working families because the cost of living. And the biggest contributor to the cost of living isn't people's water bills. It's the cost of either rent, if you're a renter, or if you're a home owner. The average mortgage repayment in South Australia has gone from $1,700 per month in 2020 to $3,500 today. Now, where's that money coming from? Because weekly earnings aren't keeping pace with that. So we've just got to get more supply into the system, and we don't get more supply unless there's water for houses to connect to.
Yeah, but it means that some South Australians will be paying 3 times. They'll be paying in their water bills. They'll be paying over the long term in their taxes, paying off the government debt that extra borrowing that you're doing to pay this off. And if they're buying a new house, and it's probably most likely going to be young South Australians trying to get into the market because you've got stamp duty relief for them, which is a really good policy, and I've been very supportive of.
Yes.
But they will then have this cost passed on from the developers to them. So they'll be paying 3 times for this.
But Stacey, understand this. If we didn't, what we've done with the augmentation charge, if we've reduced it from 100,000, or in some developments over 200,000, we've reduced it from $100,000 on allotment down to 10,000. So we've capped the augmentation charge. So rather than the developer paying $100,000 per connection, we've capped it at $10,000 to make it economic. So
which is probably going to be passed on to the home buyer.
But so with the 100,000. So if you had a choice between 10,000 or 100,000, what would you choose? Of course, you choose the 10,000. So that's what we've been able to do.
Look, I don't want to be too nitpicky here, but you've saying you've reduced it from 100 down to 10. But that person, instead of paying 100, they're paying 10. They're also going to be paying extra in their water bills, and they're going to be paying extra in their taxes to pay it off.
So they will be paying 3 times. The 1.5 billion has to come from somewhere. But at the moment they're not paying 3 times. They're paying 10 times. Because or you pick a number of your choosing, because the escalation in house prices, not just in metropolitan Adelaide, actually around the state, as is the case around the country, is now growing at an unsustainable rate. And look, the long and short of it is this: we're spending $1.5 billion on water infrastructure to build more homes, and so the part of it that we've anguished with the most is, of course, a $20 per quarter increase on people's water bills. For some people, that's going to be hard to take.
And just on that, Premier, will there potentially be some allowances made for concession holders, etc.?
Yes, later today we're announcing so we've obviously had a big concessions package in the state budget.
Yeah,
we're announcing another concessions package later today.
Okay,
or will be revealed.
Pensioners or
we're looking at people who are on low and fixed incomes. Pensioners being a good example of that. So we do want to provide relief where we can, but look, I can't look young generations in the eye and say, you know what, we are going to break the social contract. We've got a grand bargain in this country that says that from one generation to the next, we're going to give them the opportunity to aspire to their own home, generate new wealth for their own family, and at the moment, a whole demographic of South Australians are being completely dislocated from that opportunity in a way that is clearly inequitable. And one of the contributors to that happening is because developers want to build homes and they can't because there's just not a water and sewage connection. And the reason for that, there's lots of reasons for that, but basically because governments haven't been doing the hard work to get this done. We've been too busy on making sure SA Water has got kayaking on reservoirs rather than just getting homes connected to potable water and sewage. And although these pipes are below the ground and people won't see them and they're not particularly, politically sexy, it's core business and we've just got to get it done.
Something had to be done, and I think there's a lot of people now breathing a sigh of relief that something has been done. But what does it mean for the timeline of these houses being built? It's all well and good that there'll now be water, and that was a good first step. Is it going to mean any homes are built quicker?
So the 1.5 billion gets us water to approximately 40,000 allotments. That's a big number. I should say that, and the investment in water infrastructure will have to continue beyond the next 4 years too, because we anticipate growth will continue with AUKUS and other opportunities. But yes, we have to move at warp speed here to get some of this water in the ground. Pipes have already been ordered. I'm going to see them myself with my own eyes later this morning. It's not just in the northern suburbs of Adelaide. That's where there's a particular crunch, but it's also in the south as well. Developments like Hackham, or Dinga. There are other places that we want to get up and running, but we just need to get this basic infrastructure in the ground. Look, we don't build the homes. But it's not
speeding up that process.
It's speeding it up in comparison to where it was, that's for sure. The other thing we announced yesterday, and this will be appreciated more by developers and builders than anyone else, but is a whole fast-tracking process of the code amendment process, the land division process, and a whole range of other approvals. We're putting in place measures to put the blowtorch on councils, to put approvals in a lot faster. If they don't make decisions within a certain timeline, then the state government's going to do it for them. So we're really putting pressure on in other areas to speed up the pace. There was a lot of detail that we announced yesterday beyond just the water, but the simple fact is, the state government isn't building the homes. You don't want us. No one wants us to.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's right. we want builders building homes.
Yeah.
And so, but our job is to get everything in place, to give them the land, to say away you go, and that's what our focus is on.
Premier, this has obviously taken a lot of your time, and we appreciate your time this morning.
Right.
Any announcements? I've got my sporting hat on. That's usually all I wear. Anything timings for Live or AFL gather round?
No. Oh, look, I think there's the team within the South Australian Tourism Commission work all that up.
Yep.
And I think with gather round, it's pretty obvious we shoot for the Victorian school holidays. And if it aligns with the South Australian school holidays, that's
Great.
A bonus.
Yep.
Looking at the
February
dates,
Live Golf, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, that's certainly in negotiation. Yep. But look, the team at SATC, the Tourism Commission, we back in to do that work. At some point we'll make that announcement. We want to make those announcements quickly because it gives people time to plan, book flights, accommodation, Airbnb, you name it. But it's fair to say this work, along with continue to sort of try to get more resources in health, has been what has been occupying the mind the last month or so.
It's been a big story. Thanks so much for your time this morning. I know you're a busy man, so
you're far more appreciative, Rennie, than what Pembo will are. So.
He's very polite out
there. Yeah. You both are. Thanks for having me on.
No, appreciate it.
Okay,
Thank you, Premier.
I'll grab a few people I know. We'll mark out some places to go. There's no invitation, just a destination, and that's the best freedom I know. Jump in the Jayco. Jump in the Jayco. Yeah, that's the best freedom I know.
It all started in the back shed. Maybe it started early. Or late. Either way, the Olympic Industry Sale means there's no need to wait. With big savings on our entire range of SA-engineered sheds, garages, carports and verandas, you can afford to start something big, tough, or tasty in your own backyard. Start something with the Olympic Industry Sale. On now.
The news and information that matters. This is 5AA News, always Adelaide.
Showers and 15 today with the 8 o'clock news. Good morning, I'm Graham Goodings.
Make RAA-approved windscreen repairer, Complete Windscreens, your insurer repairer of choice. Visit completewindscreens.com.au.
Julian Assange is preparing to face court after being freed from a London prison. The WikiLeaks founder is in remote US territory where he's expected to plead guilty to a single felony charge after striking a deal with prosecutors. Human rights lawyer Jeffrey Robertson KC once defended Assange in extradition proceedings. He's told Today the agreement will see the 52-year-old spared further jail time, marking an end to his legal saga, which has gone on for more than a decade.
The accusation will be put to him. He will plead guilty. There will be a notice to the judge that he's served the time that will be imposed, and he will walk out of court a free man.
6 boys will face the youth court today after a disturbance outside the Arndale shopping centre yesterday. It's alleged they threatened a man with a knife. One also allegedly threw a rock, hitting a person on the chin, causing a minor injury. They've been charged with aggravated affray. It comes after Sunday's lockdown at the Marion Shopping Centre, which was sparked by a group of youths. Josh Peake from the Shop Workers Union says security needs to be stepped up to keep shoppers and staff safe.
Security guards can have lots of power. They also have power to detain people that are doing the wrong thing if they're trained appropriately. And we think moving from a standard where we sort of see in major shopping centres a grade 2 or grade 3 style security guards to grade 4 and grade 5 will make a really big difference.
The country's energy market operator has issued a stark warning of the nation's power needs and faltering production capacity. AEMO has found Australia will need to install 16 times its current capacity of batteries and pumped hydro capacity by 2050. As well, wind and solar generation will have to jump 6-fold if the country is to deliver its transition to net zero emissions by 2050. Scammers are expected to take advantage of unsuspecting Australians as many prepare to file their tax returns. Gavin Ord from CPA Australia says unsolicited text messages impersonating the Australian Taxation Office are one of the most common types of scams at this time of year. He says these often contain links to fake MyGov web pages set up to steal personal and financial information.
What they're hoping for is that one person out of 10,000 to click on that link and they're off. So I just say everyone just be very sceptical.
The ATO doesn't include links in its texts, making it easier to distinguish between legitimate and illegitimate messages. A new study suggests having high levels of visceral fat could affect the brain size and cognitive function. Monash University researchers believe fat around the organs could be linked to dementia. There are calls for police here to follow Turkey's lead, where luxury cars seized from criminals are rebranded and used as police cars. Images have emerged today of Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Porsches and even a Bentley. Sreko Lorbeck from Lorbeck Luxury Cars says they're a perfect choice for police pursuits.
In a pursuit where you've got a Toyota Hilux or the SUVs or the use that they have, and the Toyota Prados, I mean, compared to perhaps a Ferrari or a Lamborghini or a McLaren or specifically perhaps a Porsche, can get through that pursuit a lot quicker, which I think is also much safer for the public.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Colours, custom design, any house, any style. Gliderol Garage Doors. Gliderol.com.au.
And here's Jace Kemp.
Thank you, Graham. Crows captain Jordan Dawson believes Adelaide's football department has the right people in charge to take the club forward. The skipper says they don't need to bring in extra help to turn its form around.
We've got great people in head roles around the club, so from my point of view, I've got some great leaders and mentors that I lean on, so personally I don't feel like we need any external people to come in.
That audio thanks to Seven. A record NRL crowd of more than 90,000 people is expected at the MCG tonight for Game 2 of State of Origin. Blues coach Michael Maguire has told Today they're excited and ready for the game.
I'd imagine the day is going to get pretty live as we keep going, but once the boys go out, I'm really confident in the way they've prepped and really believe in this group.
England has topped its group at the Euros but has left fans frustrated. The Three Lions were held to a 0-0 draw by Slovenia, which also booked its place in the round of 16.
There is the full-time whistle, and look at these Slovenian celebrations. Delight for them. Matthias Kek's side have kept England at bay.
That call thanks to Optus. And finally, there's been some drama in the US Olympic qualifications. Reigning women's 800-metre champion Athing Mu won't be able to defend her title in Paris after taking a tumble during trials. She finished last, ruling her out of the Olympics. Pretty brutal stuff. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thanks, Jace. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Lynn Andrews Real Estate, experts in commercial and residential property management. lynnandrews.com.au.
G'day there. At Mawson Lakes, a smash on the Salisbury Highway near Dustin Avenue with really heavy delays inbound. Dry Creek, another multi-car smash on the Salisbury Highway. This one's inbound near the Wingfield interchange, delays there too. Waterloo Corner, a car fire, Port Wakefield Road near Old Port Wakefield Road. And the Hills Gorge Road will be closed from 9 o'clock this morning between Playford Bridge and Torrens Hill Road due to the weather. Got a camera, Edward Straditore Park. Fresh from a local AGA this week, Australian pre-packed oranges only $5.49 for a 3 kilo pack. Fresh from a local AGA at participating stores till July 2 while stocks last. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
And now the 5AA forecast.
See any issue firsthand with AutoCam. Real-time video, direct to you from your Automasters technician.
Showers and 15 today, tomorrow a shower or 2, 17, Friday 18 with a shower or 2, and Saturday showers 16. Currently in town it's 9. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Streaming live via the 5AA Player app on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. This is 5AA, always Adelaide.
5AA's Tech Talk with your host, Adelaide Tech Guy Richard Pascoe. Thanks to Harvey Norman Computers.
You don't need to be a tech expert to know that technology is now part of everything we do. AI, or artificial intelligence, is the next big game changer. It doesn't just make things easier or predict what's next. It can truly transform your daily life. It handles the little things so you can focus on what really matters. You'll find plenty of AI inside the latest Microsoft Surface Pro. It's the fastest and smartest Surface Pro ever, thanks to their AI called Copilot. The Surface Pro features a 13-inch touchscreen, ample memory, all-day battery life, seamless graphics, and AI-enhanced capabilities to supercharge your workflow. Experience the best combination of Copilot and PC with the Surface Pro. Prices start from $1,899 at Harvey Norman.
Check out this great offer at a Harvey Norman store near you. Purchase any Hyundai until June 30 for 3 years free scheduled servicing. T's and C's apply at participating Hyundai dealers.
5AA Winter Breakfast. Stacey Lee and Tom Wren.
Yeah, we've got an hour to go on 5AA Breakfast this morning. A pretty cool and foggy start to your day as well, particularly around the Adelaide Hills. So if you are driving in from there today, just make sure you take it easy on the roads. There's a bit of weather around. It's going to be another wet and slippery day out on the roads today, so just take all the caution you possibly can.
Yeah, we already had a couple of issues on the roads. One of them at Wingfield on the Salisbury Highway was causing delays, and just a reminder again, after 9, an area of Gorge Road is going to be closed between Playford Bridge and Torrens Hill because there's an increased risk of rockfalls after the wet weather. So, yeah, please do take care on the roads this morning, and maybe pack the scarf or an extra jacket.
It is chilly out there, isn't it?
Yeah, really icy chill in the air at the moment.
Cuts right through you, doesn't it?
It does. Whew, wakes you up, that's for sure. I was about to say you don't need the morning coffee, but no, you definitely still do need the morning coffee.
Need the morning coffee.
Well, it is 9 minutes past 8 here on 5AA. Before 9 o'clock, we're going to talk about a shortage of HRT patches. Women going through menopause will know all too well the impact that HRT patches can have, but there is a shortage of them. So we do want to hear your experience, and we'll also talk to a Royston Park GP who's got some other tips on how you can help deal with your menopausal symptoms if you can't get your hands on one of those all-important HRT patches. So we'll be talking about that soon, and jump on the phone if you want to share your experience. 8223 0000 is the number to call. But before the 8 o'clock news, we were talking to the Premier about the water bills going up to pay for the connection of key infrastructure to new housing developments. It's been an ongoing issue in this state for years and years. So this isn't a new problem, and it had to be addressed. But it does mean, Tom, you, me, everyone out there is going to be paying for this water connection to new housing developments. David Spears is the leader of the opposition, and he joins you now. Good morning, David Spears.
Good morning, Tom and Stacey.
Well, something had to be done. Surely you can't be too critical of that.
Well, I think something did have to be done, but did it need to have an impact on South Australian water bill payers? I question that one. Well, we've got to be careful the Premier's not just creating a bit of a mirage here so that his budget ill-discipline isn't picked up by South Australian taxpayers, and that's exactly what's happening here. This is all about priorities. The Premier could have other priorities within his budget. He could fund these projects from general revenue. It doesn't need to be jackhammered out of South Australian taxpayers. And the long and the short of this is water bills went down dramatically under the Liberal government, and they're going up dramatically under Labor, and it seems to be back to the same old story. Many of your listeners would remember that.
Maybe we wouldn't be in this problem right now, though, if the former Liberal government, and to give credit, if the Labor governments before that had invested appropriately in water infrastructure to new developments, we would have maybe had more housing supply and the cost of housing wouldn't be up so high where it is now.
Well, that's the story the Premier wants to spin, but what he did, he wanted to...
But it's the reality as well.
Well, he wanted to create an impression that he was releasing all this new land. He didn't do his homework. He didn't realise that land was nowhere near ready. This isn't just about water. There's going to be big electricity connections, schools, hospitals, all that sort of stuff, roads. He was ill-prepared. He wanted to govern by media release. That's the way our Premier does it in this state, and it's South Australians who will have to pay. You get a quarterly water bill. South Australians are going to see that go up, and some households by up to $100 a quarter. The average will be a bit less than that, but many of your listeners who are living out in suburbs like Golden Grove and Hallett Cove with maybe a swimming pool or a decent backyard that they want to water, a couple of kids to take showers in the morning, their water bills are going to go through the roof. And that's all thanks to Peter Malinauskas and his poor planning. He can try and sheet blame to previous governments. At the end of the day, he's governing this state, and he should look for ways to do it without jackhammering money out of the pockets of hard-working South Aussies.
Yesterday, this announcement was made at the convention centre when the Premier released the housing roadmap. I think there were about almost 1,000 people in the room. It was a pretty big event. I saw Vincent Tarzia was there and Michelle Lensink, the Shadow Housing Minister. Were you there, Leader?
No, I wasn't able to get there. I had a long-standing private appointment yesterday, but Michelle and Vincent went along and listened to the Premier, reported back to me as to what the situation was and how South Australians were going to have a huge amount to pay thanks to Labor's ill planning.
The Premier, was there in the room with 1,000 business people working in the housing sector, photographs with master builders, property council, civil construction, urban development institute, all of these key housing and building stakeholders, which political analysts, myself included, have criticised the Liberal Party for disassociating with before the last election. Would it not have been wise for you as leader to be there with those people in the room and be trying to rebuild those relationships 2 years out from the next election? Would that not have made political sense?
Stacey, I wouldn't have been able to do a thing in that room, standing there listening to the Premier wax lyrical with his big false visions for the state. That wasn't a priority for me yesterday. Priority for me sitting down with those groups and building relationships, and I reckon I've got pretty good relationships to every one of them, without needing to sit and have an alternate drop chicken or beef meal with them at the convention centre or wherever it was held. I'm more interested about getting out into the streets, Stacey, talking to the tradies with the youths and the white vans and electorates in the outer suburbs and in the regions of this state. That's where the people listening to your radio station live this morning. That's where they are. They want an alternate Premier who's listening and understanding to their needs, not standing up in the stage, waving at the crowd, taking selfies and acting like he's king of the world. Meanwhile, grabbing as much money out of their pockets as he can. It's a completely different approach, and I'm not going to be a business-as-usual sort of future Premier of South Australia. I'm going to be connecting with everyday people and not necessarily striding across the stage like Peter Malinauskas. If I pretend to be like Peter Malinauskas, that means there'll be no product differentiation at the next election. I'm very different from him. I'm someone from the suburbs. I'm not someone who has an elitist upbringing and a red carpet all the way to the top of the power in this state. I'm completely different. And I do get a bit frustrated when analysts in this state try to say, oh, well, David Spears isn't like Peter Malinauskas. That's a great win for South Australia because I'm absolutely nothing like him. I'm concentrating on their cost of living rather than building a big legacy for myself.
We have a text here, and this is a line the Premier used before the news. How much did we spend on opening up reservoirs instead of connecting homes to water and sewage? Opening the reservoirs is great, but connecting homes to basic water and sewage should have been a priority. That's Craig in Golden Grove. It does have...
Well, we spent a few million a year opening those up. We were spending about $500 million a year when I was Water Minister, connecting households to water connections, $500 million a year. There were no projections whatsoever until last year that additional trunk mains would be required, until Labor made all those big land releases, quite frankly. And if you go right back in time, none of the projections around housing connections were suggesting that this big spend would be needed, until Peter Malinowskis went out in front again, trying to create this big legacy for himself, released this land without any planning or structure around it whatsoever. I think many people in this state are happy that reservoirs have opened. We put in a few toilet blocks, walking trails and things like that. It was a win for the state. It didn't have a big cost to the budget whatsoever. But I do reiterate, when I was Water Minister, we were spending between $400 and $500 million a year connecting new premises.
David, thanks so much for coming on the program this morning. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
David Spears, the state opposition leader. We are interactive on the Duttons text line. Don't let the Duttons end of financial year deals pass you by. Find your new car at duttons.com.au. One that has just come in, Stace. A crash on the freeway down track just before the Glen Osmond intersection. Now, there's a car stopped on the right-hand lane. Police are not yet on site, but it will start to cause some pretty major dramas soon, given that it is peak hour right now. So
right-hand lane as well.
Yeah, just be aware of that. Just received a text message on the Duttons text line, so keep them coming. Thanks so much, but it sounds like there may be some significant delays on the way.
It is 18 minutes past 8 here on 5AA. Getting a lot of your texts, 0448 08 1395. And there's a lot of people who were there yesterday, as I say, at the lunch announcing this roadmap. One of those is Liam Golding. He's the CEO of the Urban Development Institute, and he's called into 5AA this morning. Good morning, Liam.
Good morning, Stacey. Good morning, Tom.
Thanks for your call. So I guess you sort of represent some of the developers and the people who build the homes in this state. We were talking to the Premier earlier about how this is going to be paid for. Talking to those developers, you know, in what you do, will they just be passing on these costs to the people buying the homes?
Well, Stacey, as an industry, we are always focused on making sure that we're building housing that people are going to buy. So any increase in fees, charges, any cost increase that is going to affect the end price of the housing is something that we're acutely aware of and we try to keep to an absolute minimum. So it is a margin business and there are costs that need to be passed on. But ultimately, if we can't be building houses and if the costs that are being passed on are prohibitive to the point where no one's going to buy a house at that price, it's not viable to build. So what we have from yesterday's announcement is a path to actually get housing supply back on board. The cost increases are obviously less than ideal, but the alternative is not bringing on any additional housing supply and an ongoing housing crisis.
Yeah, which we wouldn't want to see, of course. Do you have any idea on the average increase on a new house that this is going to add? Is it the Premier sort of said $10,000 as opposed to $100,000? Is that what you're thinking? So a $620,000 home off the plan will go up to $630,000 because of the water and sewage connection now?
We think that's quite likely. We're looking into this in some further detail. There's a $10,000 cap on augmentation fees for greenfield sites, and in infill, there's a new augmentation fee of $2,500 being put on. That's going to ratchet up by $2,500 every year until 2027, when it'll also be $10,000. So in 4 years' time, 3 years' time, there'll be a $10,000 augmentation fee on any new build. So I think it is fair to say that is a $10,000 increase on every property. But yes, the Premier has been pretty open with his numbers on this and the challenge of building the infrastructure. Some of the upper estimates on how much it could cost for water infrastructure and sewer infrastructure on every block, some of the upper estimates around the 200,000 mark. We do have some questions about how they come to that number, But it is clear that there is a lot of money that's needed to get this infrastructure in the ground. And the model that the Premier has announced yesterday is a shared solution to that, with funding coming from general revenue, from water rates and from developers. So it's a society-wide problem, and we've got a society-wide solution. We think that's appropriate.
Okay. Liam Golding, thanks for your time.
Great stuff. That was Liam Golding there, the CEO of the Urban Development Institute there, who called in and gave us some of his thoughts. Time to check out what is happening on the roads. In fact, we might take a call before we do that. Jasmine from Parafield Gardens has called in. Hello there, Jasmine.
Good morning. I'm heading north on the Salisbury Highway, and that accident that's happened up near Wingfield is causing traffic delays all the way back down to Parafield Gardens High.
Oh, gosh.
Wow.
Okay.
So it's kilometres and kilometres. So it's a standstill. So I don't know how bad that accident is, but it's definitely causing chaos.
How long have you been stuck in it, Jasmine?
Oh, I'm in the opposite direction. I'm good.
Oh, okay, you're good.
That's a
good
good thing.
Well, that's why you're not sounding too upset giving us a call, but we do appreciate you
No.
filling us in.
No worries at all. Thank
you. Have a good day. Jasmine, Parafield Gardens.
Yeah, and we love that. Just letting us know what's going on out
Yeah.
there. That's, give yourself some time or try and avoid the area if you can. And, of course, we just had confirmation on the Duttons text line as well of that crash on the freeway down track just before the Glen Osmond intersection. So there's a bit going on out there this morning.
And can I just say, that's that development there from Liam Golding, that's a pretty big deal. So, we're going to pay $80 extra a year in our water bills, and if you buy a new house, the price of it's automatically going to go up $10,000 because of this. So it's not good for new home buyers.
Yep, makes it hard. It's a tough market to break, isn't it? Tougher than probably ever. There's no doubt about that. Let's have a look at what is happening with the roads, and we'll do that all thanks to the new McSmart meal from Macca's. We've just heard a little bit about it. 2 burgers, small fries and small soft drink. Just $6.95. T's and C's apply.
Thanks, Tom. A couple of accidents causing really big delays on the Salisbury Highway. They're inbound at Mawson Lakes and also at Dry Creek. Really big delays. Avoid it if you can. Elizabeth North car into a tree on Woodford Road near Dortsey Road, and in the Hills Gorge Road to be closed from 9 a.m. this morning between Playford Bridge and Torrens Hill Road due to the weather and the potential for rock slides. Camera today, West Street, at Ascot Park. Is your car ready for winter and the wet roads? Get your car serviced at UltraTune, and their expert technicians will ensure your car is driving safely. Call or search UltraTune today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show. Stephen Rowe and Tim Jennifer.
Welcome, Treaders. After what I'd say, a footy classified drive-by by Caro.
Yeah, and I want to set the record straight because I acknowledged the caller by saying, oh, good call. Anyone who thought that was endorsement, it wasn't an endorsement. They still chose to run with a hit piece story, which I thought was pretty poor.
The 5AA Sports Show.
So Caro v Treaders Thursday after 5, don't miss it?
Yeah. Weekdays from 4 p.m. on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
It's funny how we wash our cars, but washing our biggest investment, our homes, we never think about. Keeping your home's exterior clean is critical to longevity and less maintenance. It's a big and potentially dangerous job for homeowners, but not for Fresh Front. Our team of highly skilled operators transform tired-looking homes into wow-looking homes. The before and after shots are stunning. Getting set for sale, cleaning up for a celebration, or home maintenance. Freshfront.com.au. Looks like new.
What's got Mike singing? Mike just got an energy-efficient heat pump installed by EcoVantage. Not only is it using nearly 80% less energy than his old hot water system and saving hundreds off his power bills, he got it for free. Thanks to federal and SA government incentives, you can get your own energy-efficient heat pump from just $0. Pump your energy bills down with EcoVantage. Visit ecovantage.com.au.
Have you got your tickets yet? Just 2 days to go for 2 chances to live mortgage-free in Henley Beach. Only 2 days to buy your tickets in the Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery, giving you 2 chances to live the dream mortgage-free in a fully furnished Scott Salisbury home with a bonus $100,000 in your pocket. The absolute final deadline is midnight Friday. Life-changing prizes, life-changing impact. HomeLottery.com.au. Licence 14548. Steinborner Automotive in Gawler, Barossa and Clare has always been well worth the trip, especially with their end of financial year sale on over 500 new, used and demo cars, including over 100 certified used commercial utes in stock, many with new car warranties and low kilometres packed with accessories. Plus, they're offering an additional $1,500 trade-in bonus on all trade-ins. Head to one of Steinborner's 8 locations or view the whole range at steinborner.com.au. Steinborner Automotive, it's well worth the trip.
Built like a brick house. Basic Trailers are your best mate for any load. Use the code FIVEAA to pay only $1 for rego on purchase of your new trailer. True blue deal at Paraka. Basic Trailers. Basically, better.
Know the news with Adelaide's 7 News. Don't miss Adelaide's leading news hour tonight at 6 o'clock.
Purchase any Hyundai until June 30 for 3 years free scheduled servicing. T's and C's apply at participating Hyundai dealers.
5AA Winter Breakfast. Stacey Lee and Tom Wren.
Through until 9 o'clock this morning. I hope you're having a great morning wherever you are. 27 minutes past 8 o'clock. We love the interaction on the Duttons text line. Morning, Tom. You have to read this out. Stacey won't. Stacey's such a brilliant journalist. Always asks the right questions. I never miss her afternoon show for the same reason. Just excellent. And by the way, I'm not her mother.
I was about to say, thanks, Mum.
No, that was from Helen. And Stacey, you've been a joy to work with and doing a great job as you do in the afternoon, so that is outstanding. The other story, Stace, we've been following this morning is Julian Assange. He has landed in the US territory of Saipan, and we've been following this one closely. Kevin Rudd has been there with him.
The Australian ambassador to the US.
Mm-hmm.
He's now got off the plane and he was entering the airport at Saipan, and we've been hearing updates all morning. Julian Assange's dad, John Shipton, spoke a short time ago.
Day of joy after 15 years being in one form of incarceration or the other. And Julian hasn't been home, I think, in 16 years. So it's really a joyous day for us.
I can see the joy written all over your face. Take us inside that, if you will, my man.
Well, you know, instead of using the alarm to wake up, I sort of wake up automatically and run around the place looking for a broom to sweep the floor, that sort of thing. You know, that's the general preparation.
When do you expect him home?
I guess, you know, the government tells me that he'll be flying in tonight in Canberra. So I'm at their beck and call. I'm sitting here in Alivio Tourist Park, waiting for instructions from the government what to do and where to go.
So that was John Shipton, Julian Assange's father, speaking on Channel 9's Today Show this morning. That was Carl Stefanovic that you heard doing the interview there with him.
Yeah, lots of developments on that story, and we'll make sure we stay across it for you. Keep sending your texts through on the Duttons text line, 044808 1395. Someone says, why didn't Labor make this announcement in the state budget? Well, I did ask the Premier about that, if it was already budgeted. He said it was budgeted, but not. Yeah, the way, when you read the budget of the budget lines, it didn't say new housing announcement, $440 million set aside for this. It has been budgeted, though. They've just waited a couple of weeks to announce it, of course. Someone else says, was David Spears at another cousin's wedding yesterday? Is that why he wasn't there? Lots of people saying, does that mean we won't have to pay a supply charge? I doubt it. I very much doubt it.
So keep those texts coming on the Duttons text line. Don't let the Duttons end of financial year deals pass you by. Find your new car at duttons.com.au. We've got plenty of prizes to give away in the next half hour as well, Stacey, and we've got a bit of a health story that we're going to be discussing after the 8:30 news as well.
Yeah, lots of women across the state suffering menopause will know what an HRT patch is. It's a hormone replacement therapy patch, and they help with the symptoms of menopause. There's a shortage of them, so we'll talk to an Adelaide GP to try and work out when is this shortage going to be reconciled, when will they be back on the shelves, and what other options are there for you to help deal with menopausal symptoms? Because if you can't get your patch, there's got to be something else you can do. So we've got some tips as well.
All that and more coming up after the 8:30 news.
This is 5AA News, always Adelaide.
Showers and 15 today with the 8:30 news. I'm Graham Goodings.
Chipped windscreen? RAA approved repairer Complete Windscreens repairs it from just $99. Find the big red koala.
WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange is in remote US territory preparing to face court for what could be the last time. A judge is expected to accept a guilty plea deal, ending a decade-long push to prosecute the Australian on espionage charges. The agreement will see the 52-year-old spared further jail time and allowed to return home. Deputy Prime Minister Richard Marles has told Today it's a pleasing outcome.
Irrespective of what one's view of what Mr Assange originally did, he's been incarcerated for a very long period of time, and this is a situation which needed legal resolution, and that's why we've been advocating on his behalf, as we would in relation to any Australian, and we're very pleased to see that this issue is now moving.
The Royal Adelaide Hospital has been hit with an intervention order by SafeWork SA. The health and safety regulator says the RAH has violated health and safety laws and has given the hospital until July 9 to correct the problems. The RAH has been told to fix issues that are causing psychological risks to clinicians at the overstressed emergency department or face a fine of up to $250,000. The Premier is defending his plan to slug people more for water to fund $1.5 billion worth of infrastructure for new housing projects. The average SA water bill will rise by around $80 a year. Peter Malinauskas has told Tom and Stacey a concessions package will be announced today.
We're looking at the people who are on low and fixed income, pensioners being a good example of that. So we do want to provide relief where we can, but I can't look young generations in the eye and say, you know what, we are going to break the social contract that says that from one generation to the next, we're going to give them the opportunity to aspire to their own home.
A woman's been reported for drink driving after hitting a road barrier at Morford Vale last night. It happened at the intersection of Panalatinga and Wheatsheaf Roads. Senior Constable David Bacchus says the Holden station wagon was badly damaged.
Police spoke with the driver of the vehicle, a 41-year-old woman from Manoolunga Downs, and she submitted to a breath test returning a positive result of 0.165, more than 3 times the legal limit. So she's been issued with a 12-month instant loss of licence, and she's been reported for drink driving and drive without due care.
Researchers have uncovered a link between cold houses and poor mental health. A team at Melbourne University has found the chance of a person reporting anxiety and depression is nearly 50% higher if they're unable to heat their homes. Scammers are expected to target employees and small businesses heading into tax time. The Australian Taxation Office has received 22,000 reports of scams impersonating the government department in the last 12 months. NAB Head of Security, Culture and Advisory, Laura Hartley, says people need to remain vigilant to avoid losing their hard-earned money to criminals.
Tax time scams generally involve criminals impersonating the ATO. Criminals might claim you're owed a refund, have a debt to pay, or it might be more general about verifying personal details.
There will be no further trial for former NRL star Jared Hayne over alleged sexual assaults of a woman in 2018. The 36-year-old was released from jail earlier this month when his convictions were quashed by the Court of Criminal Appeal. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Gliderol Garage Doors, adding strength, style and safety to your home. Gliderol.com.au.
And here's Jace Kemp.
Thank you, Graham. The Crows and Port will have their main sessions this morning as they prepare for their matches this weekend. The Power face St Kilda at Marvel Stadium, while the Crows take on the Giants at Adelaide Oval. Jake Saligo says the Crows are well rested after the bye and are looking to improve in the back half of the season after a poor start.
We had a lot of expectations as players going into the season of where we wanted to finish and how we wanted to play finals and all this stuff. So it is very disappointing as a player's point of view of where we are at the moment. Yeah, we just got to look at this back half of the season and hopefully win a few more games.
To cricket, and Australia's T20 World Cup campaign is officially over after failing to make the semi-finals. The Aussies needed Bangladesh to beat Afghanistan, but the Afghans clinched an 8-run win to go through to the Final Four. Adelaide United will lose young gun Moussa Touré next season, with the talented teenager signing with a League Two French club, while finally plastic cups were thrown at English manager Gareth Southgate after the Three Lions had a 0-0 draw with Slovenia at the Euros. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now checking 5AA traffic.
Lynn Andrews Real Estate, experts in commercial and residential property management. lynnandrews.com.au.
G'day there. Two separate crashes on the Salisbury Highway causing delays, one at Mawson Lakes and another inbound near the Wingfield interchange, also with very solid delays. Elizabeth Grove, car into a light pole, Hogarth Road at Main North Road, and in the Hills, Gorge Road will be closed from 9am this morning between Playford Bridge and Torrens Hill Road due to the weather and potential of rock slides. Got a camera this morning, Target Hill Road at Salisbury Heights. The Good Guys end of financial year final days is on now. Massive deals across a huge range. Hurry for a limited time only at The Good Guys. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
And now the 5AA forecast.
See any issue firsthand with AutoCam. Real-time video, direct to you from your Automasters technician.
15 with showers today, tomorrow a shower to 17, Friday a shower to 18, and Saturday showers and 16. Currently it's 9. More news.
Companies and small business that use one solution for their IT management, cybersecurity and AI implementation are always ahead of the curve and ready for anything. One Solution is local too, a full-service technology company right here in Adelaide, offering a diverse range of solutions across IT, telecommunications, phone and mobile systems, cybersecurity and AI. Today, more than ever, it's important to safeguard your business. Do it with One Solution. onesolution.net.au, a Platinum Telstra partner.
Tap into big savings with Solar Heart Hot Water. Get a $400 trade-in on your old hot water system right now. Then enjoy energy savings for years to come. That's right. For a limited time, all Solar Heart water heaters, including solar, Atmos heat pumps, and Power Store Solar Smart electric systems, come with a $400 trade-in on top of generous government incentives. Stop pouring money down the drain with your old water heater. Get smart. Get Solar Heart. Terms and conditions apply.
Our bowel screening test is simple, private and free. Your test will be posted to you every 2 years once you turn 50, so make sure to keep an eye out for it. If found early, 90% of bowel cancers can be treated successfully. Doing a screening test every 2 years can help you stay strong and healthy for yourself and your family. For more information, have a yarn with your health professional or visit www.indigenousbowelscreen.com.au.
Respiratory syncytial virus, or RSV, is a contagious virus causing respiratory illness in older adults and even death among the frail elderly. Vaccines to fight the disease are approved overseas, but now Fusion Clinical Research is holding a trial to find a remedy for Australia. If you're over 60 and want to take part, go to fusiontrials.com.au or call 7077 6996. That's 7077 6996. You'll be reimbursed for your time.
Are you ready for this? Let's go. Mawson Lakes Mazda's end of financial year clearance sale is on now. And we're talking great deals right across the entire range of Mazdas. You'll find plenty of new Mazdas in stock, all models and colours to suit your style, or drive away in a low-K demo. And they're available for immediate delivery. Get ready and go to Mawson Lakes Mazda's end of financial year clearance sale. Just a short drive from the city.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube. Purchase any Hyundai until June 30 for 3 years free scheduled servicing. T's and C's apply at participating Hyundai dealers.
5AA Winter Breakfast. Stacey Lee and Tom Wren.
And coming up to 20 minutes to 9 o'clock here on 5AA Breakfast, Stacey Lee and Tom Wren through until 9, and then Matthew Pantelis will be taking over through until midday this morning.
Yeah, give us a call, 8223 0000 is the number to call, or send us a text on the Duttons text line 0448 08 1395. To talk about any of the matters we've been discussing on the program this morning, but we're especially getting lots of feedback on the water bills announcement, increase in your water bills, and that sort of development there that new homes will probably cost an average $10,000 extra to pay for water connection. So maybe you've got kids or grandkids trying to get into the market at the moment, and we know right now with interest rates so high, every cent counts. They are getting free stamp duty on new properties, so that is some relief there, but prices will go up 10 grand on average for these water and sewage connections. So what will that mean for you? 8223 0000 is the number to call.
Or send us a text on the Duttons text line, like you said. Don't let the Duttons end of financial year deals pass you by. Find your new car at duttons.com.au. A story you've been covering with great interest, Stacey.
Yeah, an announcement from Australia Post that they're closing down Campbelltown Post Office. It's not too far away, actually, and Michael in Campbelltown has been keeping me updated, and he's given us a call this morning. Good morning, Michael.
Hi, Stacey. I got surprised when I turned the radio on this morning. I heard you on the breakfast show. Are you trying everything out, are you?
Oh, yeah. Just trying a bit of everything. I hope you didn't think you woke up too late. You thought, oh, my God, I missed the alarm. It's 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah. I solved that. I lifted the blind and the sun was coming up. Hi, Tom. Listen, can I just say a quick hi to Tom? Tom, I met you for the first time ever in person at the Port Power Carlton game.
Oh, yeah, that was,
and we were talking
3
about
weeks ago?
my late dad was a jockey. It might ring a bell.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That was just before the game?
Yeah, mate, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Tom.
Yeah, thank you.
Anyway, Stacey, an update, love. Yeah, well, I've been in constant contact with Vincent Tarzia, you know, the chap who came on there after I had a say. And the petitions are growing. You know, they've gone up to about 700 or 800 now. I even Leaf Forest on the Talkback Show did a special Facebook post to encourage people to sign it, you know.
Yeah.
He hasn't heard back from Australia Post yet, but we're not giving up the fight, Stacey, right? You know, all of us here involved are thinking about the community, not just ourselves, right? Because it would really be inconvenient for a lot of people to go to Martin, especially in winter, Stacey, you know? So, you know, I know we've got a bit of time up our sleeve. You know, there's a sign on the door saying 30th of August, right? But we keep putting enough pressure on them. And did you try and get someone from Australia Post from the last time I called?
Yeah, we have. We've tried to get in touch with Australia Post a number of times.
Yes.
And, you know, they're not very receptive to that. But at this stage, it doesn't seem like they've changed their minds. But an increase in the number of people signing the petition is only a good thing, Michael. So I appreciate you keeping us updated. And you know what? I appreciate it so much. We're going to give you some tickets this morning because that's what we want to hear. These decisions that different companies and organisations make affect each and every one of us. It's like when a bank branch closes down, Tom, and you know you can't go and get your money out anymore. Australia Post is such a vital service for so many people. So I really do appreciate you keeping us updated, Michael. So you've got 4 tickets to Universal Kingdom Prehistoric Nights. This is part of Illuminate. It's Discover Universal Kingdom at Adelaide Zoo. It's where lights, puppets and dinos collide. You can book now at adelaidezoo.com.au, and these tickets are for the 11th of July. Michael, thank you so much for keeping us updated, as I say. And that's not the only Australia Post branch closing down. They're also closing down the one on Glen Osmond Road. I've got to get the suburb right. It's not Myrtlebank. It's across Glen Osmond Road, almost heading towards Birdside. I'll find out what the suburb is. So, yeah, there's at least 2 Australia Post branches closing down.
Which is a massive inconvenience, like you said. I mean, you know, having to go to a different one, so much going online, understand costs, etc. It's not cheap to run organisations, big overheads, but yeah, it does make it frustrating for a lot of the people, and it sounds like that petition that Michael has organised, he's getting quite a bit of support. In the meantime, Stace, we might check out...
Fullerton, sorry.
Fullerton.
It's the Fullerton one.
Okay. Might check out what is happening with regards to the fuel out there. Speaking of costs of living, they always seem to be expensive, don't they? But there are some bargains out there. Members save with RAA Solar. RAA Innovation Proprietary Limited, SA Building Licence number 319335. The United at Main North Road in Paraka, unleaded $1.66.5, so a good bargain there. The OTR at Brighton Road in Brighton is $1.69.5, and the OTR on Gorge Road is $1.78.5. The cheapest diesel, you'll find that at the X Convenience at Main North Road, Jeps Cross. It's $1.77.5 a litre. So there are some good prices out there, and I say that relatively speaking, but yeah, it can. I saw some this morning in the $1.90, so if you can, shop around. There are some cheaper prices out there.
And sorry, Tom, I said Fullerton. It's not Fullerton. It's Glen Osmond.
Oh, it's Glen Osmond.
Glen Osmond and
Okay.
Campbelltown are the post offices that are closing down. Fullerton was one of the replacement ones. You know, Australia Post says, oh, Glen Osmond's closing down, but you can go to Highgate, you can go to Fullerton. So those people in Fullerton, my apologies, you're good, you're safe. It's Glen Osmond. That one's closing down.
Important to clarify. Good stuff. Thanks so much for that, Stace. Let's have a check of the roads right now, all thanks to the new McSmart meal from Macca's. 2 burgers, small fries and a small soft drink, just $6.95. T's and C's apply.
Thanks, Tom. 2 big crashes this morning on the Salisbury Highway causing big delays inbound. One at Mawson Lakes and another one inbound near the Wingfield interchange. Super slow through there at the moment. Elizabeth Grove, car into a light pole. Hogarth Road at Main North Road. Brown Hill Creek, breakdown on the freeway near the lower arrestor bed. Out in the hills, Gorge Road will be closed from 9 this morning due to the weather and potential of rock slides. That's near Playford Bridge and Torrance Hill Road. Got a camera, Bradley Grove at Mitchell Park. Looking for a 4x4 tyre that lasts? Goodyear Auto Care have the Goodyear Wrangler AT Adventure with up to 95,000 kilometre warranty. Visit your local Goodyear Auto Care for details. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Don't miss your chance to grab a run-out deal at Formula Honda. Enjoy run-out prices on the Honda HR-V while stocks last. An effortlessly stylish, next-generation hybrid with intuitive safety technology from just $43,900. Plus, score a deal on the iconic Honda Accord with a 7-year warranty, 7 years roadside assist, and 5 standard low-price services. Run into Formula Honda while the run-out deals last. Glen Osmond Road, Glen Osmond, or North East Road, Modbury.
The critical part of any healthcare is the care. It's about being by your side when you and your loved ones need us most. Through late night fevers, through the rough and tumble of weekend sports, through weird rashes, mystery aches, and knowing in your heart that something's not quite right. From surgery to rehabilitation, through emergencies, mental illness, chronic diseases, and for better health. Your doctor cares. Let's take care of them too. Authorised by Dr. David Pope, Sasmoa, Adelaide.
Now, in Adelaide, with weather as low as 1 and 2 degrees, we do winter properly. And considering we've still got a fair bit of winter to go, it just might be worth upgrading the things that keep you warm.
Yeah, it could be the heaters, the hot water systems, gas space heating, lighting, or even switchboard maintenance. Precise Plumbing and Electrical have got you covered, so you won't feel the cold. With a range of specials, free quotes and no obligation fixed pricing, now's the time to give Precise Plumbing and Electrical a call. Their priority is your warmth all winter long. Plus, they offer a lifetime workmanship warranty. Lifetime warranty, that's great.
That is really good. Plus, with 700 reviews and more and an average of 4.9 stars, you are in safe hands with Precise Plumbing and Electrical. So give them a call on 1300 700 200. That's 1300 700 200.
5AA's Tech Talk with your host, Adelaide Tech Guy Richard Pascoe. Thanks to Harvey Norman Computers.
You don't need to be a tech expert to know that technology is now part of everything we do. AI, or artificial intelligence, is a next big game changer. It doesn't just make things easier or predict what's next. It can truly transform your daily life. It handles the little things so you can focus on what really matters. You'll find plenty of AI inside the latest Microsoft Surface Pro. It's the fastest and smartest Surface Pro ever, thanks to their AI called Copilot. The Surface Pro features a 13-inch touchscreen, ample memory, all-day battery life, seamless graphics, and AI-enhanced capabilities to supercharge your workflow. Experience the best combination of Copilot and PC with the Surface Pro. Prices start from $1,899 at Harvey Norman.
Check out this great offer at a Harvey Norman store near you. Purchase any Hyundai until June 30 for 3 years free scheduled servicing. T's and C's apply at participating Hyundai dealers.
5AA Winter Breakfast. Stacey Lee and Tom Wren.
10 minutes to 8 o'clock on 5AA Breakfast. Stacey Lee and Tom Wren, not just until 9 o'clock today, but through until the end of the week. So we've got a couple more days to go after today.
We do. It's been fun, Tom.
Has been.
Now, give us a call if you're using HRT patches at the moment. These are the hormone replacement therapy patches, and they help a lot of women when they're going through menopause. There's a shortage of them at the moment now, so we want to hear your experience. Maybe you've spoken to your local pharmacist and not sure when they're coming back in stock. 8223 0000 is the number to call. Dr. Aman Binder is a GP in Royston Park and is also a women's wellness specialist and joins you now. Good morning, Dr. Binder. Thanks for your time.
Thank you so much. How are you doing?
Yeah, good, thank you. So is this just an Adelaide-based problem, or is there a worldwide shortage of the HRT patches?
It is a global problem, and it is not only new. Since late 2016, HRT patches, there have been a shortage since then. So it has been reoccurring, national shortage.
And Doctor, when are they likely to be back in stock, or how long is this shortage expected to last?
Unfortunately, the information about the supply will come back, and it's usually inconsistent. So you can check it on TGA website. They usually keep postponing it. So different timings.
Right, okay.
No sure answer, unfortunately.
No, that's all right. You're not in charge of the global supply of the patches.
I know. But my patients, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. So what do the patches actually do?
So, women who were previously symptom-free with these HRT patches, they contain estrogen, and some of them they contain progesterone as well. So these patches, they help with menopausal symptoms like night sweats, hot flashes, irritability, vaginal dryness, incontinence, many of them. So it also helps with bone health, heart health, and maintaining sanity, mental health.
And Doctor, for those that can't access those patches because of the shortages and issues surrounding that, what are some of the other options that are available?
TGA has approved the supply of overseas registered alternative medications as well. There are some oral tablets, some topical gels, and vaginal pessaries available. But it is just that these patches are the best and the safest way and easily affordable. Yeah.
So the other treatments might not be as effective and maybe cost a bit more money as well.
Yes, because again, like there's all PBS guidelines, and some of them are not covered under PBS. So that's a lot to talk about. So in short, we can try some non-hormonal therapies as well, like exercising, balanced diet, yoga. And there are other medications, like we use antidepressants like Effexor, we use oxybutynin and other medications as well, other than the non-hormonal.
And those other medications, they're obviously safe and approved for long-term use, Doctor?
Yes, most of them are, but it's just that they only target a few symptoms, not majority of them.
So you mentioned some non-medical ways of trying to reduce the symptoms of menopause. A good diet. Did you say yoga?
Yes, yoga actually helps a lot. Meditation, because irritability is one of the major symptoms.
Yeah. And I know sometimes I've got women in my life that say, I can't help it. I'm saying to myself, don't talk about this. Don't get angry at this. I know you're just being irritable. I know it's hormonal, but you just can't help it sometimes.
Exactly.
If it's there, it's there.
It is there. But fortunately, we have some modern non-invasive treatments as well that we have been trying for the last few years, and they actually have helped many women go off HRT as well.
Okay. Are these, how long do the patches last? How do they work? Do you have to replace them every month or week? Or
most patches, they last from 3 days to a week.
Yep.
And without them, the symptoms can return pretty quickly within hours to days.
Yeah. Okay. And we know menopause is not a set time limit. You don't just have it for a couple of months. You can have it on and off for years.
Yeah, honestly, it can vary from 5 years to 10 years. So really can't tell and predict.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
so we've been... Sorry, go ahead, please.
No.
So we do have some modern non-invasive treatments along with the other therapies that I just mentioned. So we have, O-Shot. It's... We inject PRP from patients' blood into certain vaginal areas. It does help with sexual desire, vaginal dryness, and urinary incontinence, as it increases tissue regeneration and blood circulation.
All right.
So, yeah. Yeah. I've been doing this for the last couple of years, and I've been combining it with the other technologies as well. So we do have different lasers, different radio frequency treatments. So, like, we use a combination of Empower RF, which is a bipolar fractional radio frequency treatment. So we use radio frequency and microneedling. So we have Forma and Morpheus 8. So we combine it with O-Shot, and it helps to tighten the vaginal tissue, helps with improving appearance and function.
Right.
So
Fascinating stuff, Dr. Aman Binder. Thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
A GP in Royston Park and women's wellness specialist there, Dr. Aman Binder.
Yeah, and it's important to address those issues and talk about, those shortages and alternative treatments.
50% of the population deals with it, so
Yep, and, inevitable, so it's important to talk about it, isn't it?
Yeah.
And deal with it.
Yep.
Just to check the weather out there, Stacey, quite gloomy, isn't it? It is winter. We've been asking for weather, though, haven't we? And a bit of rain, and we've had quite a bit over the last couple of days, and currently 9 degrees out there at the moment, so it is chilly, heading for a top of 15 today, and we could get up to 15 millimetres of rain. Look, it does appear as though the showers are going to be easing and then picking up again, though, over the weekend. But for Thursday and Friday, should be a little bit lighter with the showers and then a bit heavier across the weekend.
Over the weekend too. And just a reminder for those people who use Gorge Road, it's going to be closed for parts of today between Playford Bridge and Torrens Hill Road. That's due to an increased risk of rock falls because of the rain. It'll be reassessed tomorrow morning, but for 24 hours from 9 a.m, so in just a few minutes' time, it will be closed. Gorge Road between Playford Bridge and Torrens Hill Road. Please stay safe on the roads, all the roads today, because of the rain. We know they could get slippery, so leave a bit of extra time. Drive carefully.
And drive to the conditions. Absolutely well said. Stacey, I will catch you tomorrow morning from 6 o'clock.
Sounds good. We'll do it all again, Tommy.
Can't wait. For now, we'll have a short break, head across to the newsroom, and then your mornings with Matthew Pantelis. Have a great day, folks. We'll catch you tomorrow.
On 5AA Mornings today, Safe Work SA investigating the emergency department at the Royal Adelaide Hospital. The AMA saying it must be a wake-up call for the state government about the crisis across the whole hospital system. We'll look at that issue this morning. And a big rise in the number of older South Australians who find themselves homeless in the middle of a cold, wet winter. They're two of the stories